Hello everyone, welcome to ALR Gold Season 3, and we are here in Canada, probably one of the most politest countries in the world. And unlucky for some, it's round 13 tonight then, so I hope everyone's got their lucky underwear on tonight, because this might be a doozy of a race. Remember last season it was absolutely a deluge, wasn't it? We had a full wet race last season. It was a cracking race as well, wasn't it? A good old duel between Emerson and that guy, I can't remember his name now. Well, that's it, Nosey. So it was a good old race that was, wasn't it, between Emerson and Alex Knowles. They were becoming good old rivals, weren't they? Back then, before unfortunately Nosey hung up his helmet, and he is now he's now got the suit on, hasn't he? Now, and he's the big old boss. But yeah, it was a good race last season, wasn't it? But it was a completely wet race, wasn't it? I wonder if we're going to have the same again here tonight. Canada can be a track where you can have a lot of rain and all kind of moisture in the air, isn't it? As you can see then. So we're just counting down. We're in the first part of qualifying. We've got 19 drivers on the grid tonight. I don't think we've got any debutants at all. Absolutely fantastic stuff, Ben. And I think that actually I was reading a stat earlier. Actually, I think this is Nigel's big 4-0 race. Of course, the race where he made his debut back in season 1. He is now on the big 4-0 and is the third in the all-time list of drivers that have started in ALR. So fantastic stuff as well. We've got another man who's returned back in his yellow submarine. That's Dan Murphy, who has come back as well, hasn't he? After a couple of races out, just to recharge the battery, so to speak. Dan Murphy, of course, is on at 41 races tonight. So fantastic stuff there for Dan there. And we've just got a couple of cars coming out on track now then. Young Likes saying good evening, Shawnee. Good evening, Young Likes. We've also got Jonathan Cox. Good evening, Sean. We've also got Brandon. Evening as well. We've also got Granty. Hello, Sean. Last season I retired, so hopefully I'll finish this one. Yeah, Granty did have a very good race last season, didn't he? Mumford is, of course, then got a qualifying ban. Oh, good. No, he hasn't. He's in the wall. He's done a trilly. He's in the wall. And then there is me then. I'm making up stuff now, so I don't think I've got any qualifying bans at all. But unfortunately, Mumford is in the wall already. My goodness me, that is an appalling start for the Mercedes driver. And oh dear, of course, Yarner Trilly crashed there, didn't he? Back in 2007, that crazy race in 2007. Wow, goodness me. And unfortunately, Mumford is ripped off the left front suspension of that Mercedes, and he is out. And we are losing, going to be losing 4 cars in here. Well, we're going to be losing 3 if we ain't careful. My goodness me. As Mumford has just commented, well, let's not talk about that. As yep, we will move on swiftly from you, Mumford, unfortunately, but hopefully you'll have a better race. And of course, this track you can overtake on as well. It's a very good racetrack. You've got 3 DRS around this circuit there, and there's 3 DRSs and a lovely shot of the Emirates sign there as well. Of course, unfortunately, it's a bit painful at the moment, isn't it, for any flights, because of course there's not many there is actually still a lot going on, isn't it, really, in the world, surprisingly. That there's still a lot of flights coming to and from, which I was quite surprised by, but oh well. But yeah, anyway, I was talking about the fact is that no one's going on holiday at the moment. And of course, luckily for this lockdown, I'm actually here. Well, unfortunately for you guys, I'm actually here tomorrow, because I was meant to have 6 weeks off to do some work kind of stuff, but luckily with lockdown and all that kind of stuff, I'm not having to work, which is absolutely fantastic news for me, as we've got a Williams there who's going very slowly indeed. That's Granty. As he said, he retired in the last race we did around here last season. Then Twan has also got an invalidation on his lap then, so we'll leave him to it for now, shall we? Let's just quickly go through. I think it's Echo. Echo has had a couple of races out, hasn't he? He's had issues with his interweb and all that kind of stuff, but he's back in action here tonight then, of course, Echo is. And talking of Echo, let's go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? We're on round 13 already. My goodness me, it's been flying by, hasn't it, this season? It's been brilliant stuff indeed. Anyway, yeah, in the drivers championship then at the moment, Grant has got a 17-point lead over Emerson, who is second at the moment, and good stuff indeed. Nigel is in third position, as I said. He's making his 40th race start tonight. Fantastic stuff for Nigel. Here comes Echo coming out of the 13 and 14 now then, on this 2.7 mile circuit, and you can see then he's hugging the inside there, and he goes on to a 0.96. That is a very quick lap around here. It's well, I say, yeah, it's flying around here, isn't it? And my goodness me, you've got 12 viewers already. Goodness gracious me, fantastic stuff, Ben. And No one else actually set a lap here so far. Mr. Elite then is also invalidated his time as well. I think that this is going to be basically what's going to be going on throughout the session, really, isn't it? As a lot of drivers will be invalidating their times and things like that, won't they? Because this track is an error generator track, isn't it? Where and also it's also going to catch out the unwary as well. We reckon we're going to have a lot of penalties in this race, aren't we? Later on, and I got to actually go back to the championship then because I've already gone wayward, haven't I? Quickly going back then, yeah, Nigel in third position mode. Jonathan in fourth position then. He's just 5 points away from the 100-point marker. Fisher is in fifth position at the moment with Echo in sixth and Young Light 7. Far from far shot of swap positions there. 8th and 9th moment. Twang there is going to a 9. Beautiful stuff. A 9.475 there for the Red O'Dryer. Good stuff. But Grant has gone to a 9.01 there. Good stuff. 9.1 there. Good stuff indeed there. Far shot in 9th position. Steve in 10th position there. Big movers there. Striggy is out of the relegation zone and he has moved up 4 positions. He's now in 16th position. Vesley and Brandon have also moved up a position. A piece then. Unfortunately, Roscoe's dropped down 2 positions. Mumford, Sam, Gamer and Twang have all dropped down a couple of positions as well. In the constructors, we're just looking at the team that's in the constructors at the moment, and that is Granty's team. That is the Rockets Williams at the moment, doing a cracking job, aren't they, at the moment? Good stuff indeed there. Mr. Elite is coming up to the line then. So Williams will now regain that. Ooh, we got a yellow flag in too then. Mr. Elite is going to third position. Good stuff indeed there from the McLaren driver. Lovely. As we're just watching, Matt then is invalidated so as well. Steve is in the pits at the moment. As I'm just trying to take a look. I think it's Young Lights here. It is Young Lights there. Has gone purple in the second sector then. His personal best then. Going back to the constructors, I've once again been distracted. 3 points separates Williams and Mercedes, and it's nip and tuck. They're racing points now, third position with Alpha 4th, Toro also in 5th, Haas in 6th position, Red Bull 7th, of course, the first ever ALR Constructors champions. Renault, the ALR Season 2 champions, are 8th then. 9th is Ferrari, 10th is McLaren, and good stuff indeed then. So that's my that's the only thing that I really need to do tonight, really, apart from talk about cars going around the track. Then good stuff indeed. Young Lights has gone to an 8 then, straight right off the bat, straight away. My goodness me then. He has flown right up there and got some good old times in there. Yellow flag is down the hairpin now. Just oh no, it's that's a McLaren who's done his best Lewis Hamilton impression there and gone straight off the track there. Hamilton did course went straight off there, didn't he? Back in 2016, 17, I think it was 16, wasn't it? Where we had a deluge, didn't we, in free practice too. On board with Dan Murphy. This would be his 41st start in ALR. Remember, his best season was season 2, where he finished 4th in the championship in the end there. He was very close to finishing 3rd, wasn't he? Unfortunately, he just missed out by the mark in the end. So he's gone on for the 3rd and final DRS zone, and he comes over the line. And Murphy. I got Grant on the mind there. Nothing unusual there, is it? Murphy goes into full fast then, just behind. A lovely shot there of Dan there. Of course, there. I think that. I'm pretty happy with that then. Good, a lovely shot there indeed. If I had a shot of me like that, I'll be putting on my wallpaper. Here's Matt then, as he is now DRS enabled then. As I said, there's 3 DRS zones around here on the start finish straight, on the back straight in between turn 12 and 13, and also in between turn 7 and 8, I think it is, or 8 and 9. Matt coming over the grid hatchings now in DRS right on the money. Good stuff indeed. He's coming out to the line, and he is at the moment on 11 there. Matt is. I think he's still trying to find his feet at the moment then. Fisher is on a lap, and so is Emerson as well. Here comes Emerson, who's 2nd in the championship at the moment. Here, listen to these stats, and these are fantastic stats at the moment. In terms of wins so far, we have got Emerson, who has got the most wins in ALR history, and look how close he is to the world champions there. My goodness me there, he was just skimming that barrier fantastically well. He is 3rd fast at the moment, and the Mercedes. Good stuff indeed then. Fisher, I think, is also coming around as well. Talking about so Emerson's got 8 wins so far in ALR, so he's the man with the most wins so far. Brandon goes first. This is brilliant stuff indeed there from the Toro Rosso driver. Here comes his teammate Fisher, who's joined in 2nd with Nigel Granty and Nigel Granty and Fisher, with all 7 wins apiece then. So of course then I wonder who's going to break out here tonight. Is Emerson going to extend his lead in the wins ratio there? I do love a good stat there. Of course, Jonathan Cox has the most pole positions with 9 so far. Remember, his superhuman pole position last time was absolutely stellar, wasn't it? It was brilliant stuff indeed there from Jonathan. Absolutely superb. I am on a stats thing tonight, I really am. then, because the most drivers a day so far at ALR, 6 with Grant here again, then beautiful stuff there. Most fastest laps then is actually Grant here again with 6 there. Most podiums though is still sitting with the man who's on who's doing 40 starts, and we're on board with him now, and that's Nigel. He's had 23 podiums in his ALR career, as you can see then. So yeah, good stuff indeed then. That's my that's my random bit of stats over for you then. 8 minutes into the session, well no, we're 10 minutes into the session then. As let's just take a quick look at the old comment section, shall we, as we're on board with Nigel Sidepod there. Lovely stuff there. Striggy there is just coming out of the hairpin now, and he's coming down the back straight. Got yellow flags fluttering in the hairpin then. Stringy, I think, is on a cool down lap or in lap. Mumford says, suppose now I have an hour free then. And yeah, so I know that feeling after last night's shenanigans in when I tried to have a league race there, but never mind about that. Here comes Jonathan then, as he comes through the fun. Oh, he's in foul there this time, Jonathan, so he's gonna have to go around again. Unfortunately, Striggy is done a 14 there, and he's going to have to also have another go as well. So I think Striggy is actually the apart from Jonathan, he's the only other man out on track at the moment then. We've also got Nigel saying, damn, time is going fast then, and Echo also confirming it's good to be back, Echo, in 10th position then in the Alfa Romeo. Good stuff indeed then, as we're coming down the back straight then. Of course, this is the first DRS zone then on board the Ferrari driver at the moment. Striggy, Brandon's retired from the session now. I think that's kind of a hook, line and sinker kind of thing, isn't it? He is happy with that then. That's a slam dunk in basketball terms then. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm filling up on Monster at the moment there. I think that's my I think that's my squeeze at the moment. That's my juice for the squeeze, isn't it, really? As that's my new addiction, is since I was going with alcohol. So I think that I've started on that Monster then. And I've got to say, I do look like a bit of a monster, especially in the morning then. Here comes Striggy. Yes, he's definitely a monster on track. Is he going to be a monster in the times? He is indeed. He's 8 fast at the moment now. And he is only 100th second away from Twang at the moment there in the Renault. So he's put himself in between the two Renaults. Good stuff indeed there. It's Jonathan on the lap at the moment. Sam is on track at the moment. Jonathan is cruising back to the pit zone. So we're going to keep an eye on Fireshot. As a Fireshot. Oh, he's in the wall, Fireshot is. And he went square on. He should be okay, but he would have lost a bit of time there, Fireshot. And here he comes and down into the hairpin now. Fireshot is before accelerating away there. Back end there, back end was swinging beautifully around there. That was cracking stuff there from Fireshot. So we've already lost one driver already, and that is Mumford. I didn't think we had any qualifying bans here tonight, so absolutely fantastic stuff. But very good stuff indeed there. Of course, Fireshot did have a cross country last time, didn't he? I think he's trained to be in the long distance runner there. The next Paul Radcliffe right here. Fireshot goes over the line. He goes 7 fast at the moment, and the Haas. Good stuff indeed then. As I think Echo just moved up to 12th position as well. We've got Farfrey still in the pits at the moment, and everyone else is in the pits as well. Matt is back out on track at the moment, so he's just starting his lap then. He has done 2 laps on the soft tyres. I think he's just trying to find his feet at the moment. Yellow flag is fluttering in the first sector. Matt has also gone fast in the first sector as well. Good stuff indeed then. He comes through the chicane there. Of course, Fernando Alonso come across there, didn't they? Anyway, let's talk about the history of this circuit, shall we? I've got to say, I think 1981 was it, the first Grand Prix around here. I think Gilles Villeneuve won, didn't he? Of course, Gilles Villeneuve, I think, was I think in terms of my earliest memories of Formula 1, I always remember Gilles Villeneuve for the French Grand Prix. I think it was him. I think it was himself and René Arnoux, wasn't it? In the Renault and the Ferrari. It was absolutely incredible stuff, wasn't it? He was just banging wheels and things like that. You don't get that kind of stuff today, do you? And also when he drove back to the pits, they're basically on 2 wheels, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic stuff. Gilles was he was I've got to say, he was a character, wasn't he? It was a shame we lost him way too early, didn't we? Matt has gone into 11th time. He's gained 9 tenths of a second on his time then, but Matt is looking to bit off the pace here tonight at the moment. We're keeping on what Matt does. Here comes Sam. Sam, of course, has recently turned off the traction control on his McLaren. Let's see what he can do as he comes out to the line then. Is he going to? He's not hugging it as much as the other guys at the moment, but he goes into 13 faster so far. And the last man in the 9 so far, but good stuff indeed. A very good time then. Farf is still in the pits. Remember, Farf is I think the Farf has a contract with Pirelli, doesn't he, where he's only allowed to use 1 set of tyres per qualifying session, doesn't he? Because he seems to doesn't want to come out very often, does he? Let's take stock then at the moment. We've got all Honda. Well, I was going to say we've got all Honda front 3 row, but Emerson has decided to put me in my place, which is nothing unusual there, and he is now in 3rd position there in the Mercedes head, sporting his Ayrton Senna helmet as well. So good stuff indeed there from Emerson, and he is broken into the 8th there. I've got to say, these are very electric times here, aren't they? Very good stuff indeed then from all the guys out there. Here's Steve then. He has just started that then, as you can see, going over the crest there before coming into turn 3 then, of course. I remember that shot quite well there from 2011 there, where the marshals were jumping over themselves, weren't they? As Steve there just getting onto the grass a bit there, going slightly wide there, coming out to 6. But yeah, the marshals were falling over themselves, weren't they? So he's trying to get some debris up, wasn't they? We're on board. Lovely over the show shot with Steve there as well. He's got a lovely green helmet here tonight as well. Beautiful stuff, man. I do like to keep it all driver's helmets. I think at the moment, my favourite helmet is actually a fire shots. I love the purple and blue. It's a really moody purple and blue as well. I love it. Anyway, coming out then, it's got yellow flags there. It's just a couple of drivers are slowing down as well, isn't it? I would say this track is very brutal on the brakes there, isn't it? Remember back in 1999, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, his brakes exploded there, didn't he? With 4 laps to go, something like that. That was a crazy race, wasn't it? 4 safety cars. Are we going to match that tonight? I kind of hope not, because it sometimes breaks up the flow. Steve goes 14 faster than in the Haas. He might be looking over his shoulder a bit. Here comes Jonathan Cox. He needs to get a lap in now. We're on board with Jonathan. Oh, he's almost there. He went square into the wall of champions there, didn't he? Jonathan did, and he straightened up the car luckily, so hopefully that shouldn't have caused him too much problem there. Just under 3 minutes to go in the session. Then in the drop zone at the moment, Young Lights retired from the session as well. He is currently in the 8th, and I think anyway in the 8th, I'm going to very cautiously predict, shouldn't have a problem and should get through. I think anyway. I think anyone that's in the late 9s might be feeling a bit stressed at the moment, isn't they? Because it's a short circuit, 2.7 miles long. Lovely shot here from the nose cone of the Alfa Romeo of Jonathan. Then, as he has course 9 pole positions to his name, Jonathan. I think he's got 2 wins in ALR as well. So this man has been very successful, hasn't he? So far, he finished 3rd in season 2 in the end last season, didn't he? Good stuff indeed there from the British-Italian driver, of course. I think Italy had some good news in terms of the coronavirus. Of course, Jonathan has been one of the drivers that has been quite heavily affected by all the awful things going on in this world at the moment now. And I think that and of course there has been some good news, hasn't there, with Italy. Think of actually have gone over the worst of it. I think so, according to the news. Here comes Jonathan coming to the line, and he goes fastest out. So Jonathan dusts himself down and gets onto the front, onto the fastest time there. As I was going to say pole position. This is not for pole position. Remember, this is just to get through qualifying one. There, qualifying is split up into three qualifying stages these days, isn't there? And of course, this is the first qualifying session, which is 18 minutes long, and we've already done 17 minutes of it, folks. So we've got another minute to go then. 1 minute and 7 seconds to be precise then. Roscoe is coming down the back straight as well. We have lost Mumford, but we ain't going to explain how. Oh, Roscoe's invalid this time. He's going to have to go around again. He has a minute to do so. Look, there's his teammate in the background now of Granty. Granty is back on track above there. He's in the early 9s there, so I think Granty should be okay. But don't listen to me. Farf is on track as well, and Roscoe is invalid this time. Roscoe is out of qualifying. He has to set a time. He's going to be 19th on the grid. What a shame there for Roscoe. On board with Farf. Farf's invalidated this time as well, and Farf might also be out of qualifying. What a shame for Farf, and he's having a really difficult time in ALR, isn't he? I think he's having some success in other leagues, but at the moment he's really struggling, isn't he? And he's invalidated this time, and I think that's it for Favre. On board with Matt, but Matt has overstepped the limit. He's damaged the car, and Matt is unfortunately that might be the end of Matt as well. So that is the end of qualifying one, I believe. We have lost Matt, we have lost Favre, we have lost Roscoe, and we've also lost Mumford, who did his best Yarno Trulli impression. Unfortunately, then, so we have lost 4 cars then in this session, and but that is the nature of the beast, isn't it? So to speak, as this is a knockout stage of qualifying then. So yeah, Matt unfortunately half split it there. Far through where we validated his time and didn't be able to get through then. So Far fed out of qualifying as he comes. Oh, I think he's going around again. I'm wondering actually. I might have jumped the gun here. If I have, I apologise. As got a yellow flag in sector 1 then. As Farfair is just trying to warm up his tyres by the looks then. As he's could have a lot of fresh tyres and as. Well, I think he could have gone around again, actually, couldn't he? Jonathan has also retired from the session as well, then. Was cut, so Jonathan just 1 lap and he was done then. Is Matt then, I think Matt has also got time for a run then, so it's all on Oh, nothing for that now. He's got a damaged end plate there. Look at that. It's the front left end plate that's gone. That Red Bull, my goodness me. That's not good at all for the Red Bull driver, is it then? But he's on his way nonetheless then. Farf's out of qualifying. Mumford's out of qualifying. Roscoe is also out of qualifying as well. Ron Bourne, then Steve was on the cusp there, wasn't he? But he is just... he has got through then, hasn't he? And I've got to say, look at these times there. Look at 9-6, 9-4, 9-4, 9-4, 9-4 between Echo. I haven't got a stutter. Well, most of the time I haven't anyway. So that was Echo, Fireshot, Twan, and Mr. Lee, all on 9-4s. Goodness gracious me then. If you lined them up next to each other, basically you wouldn't be able to tell who's in front. That's how nip and tuckle is there at the moment there. Matt is then on a... oh, that's a Ferrari who's in the wall there. That's Farfar. It was having some issues there. I think he's just trying to test out the steering angle on that Ferrari there. I gotta say, I'm not loving the Ferrari car either at the moment there. But as Matt there comes into the pits then, and he slows down incredibly well to I think it's 80 kilometers per hour around here, isn't it? Of course, the pit lanes are a bit old school around here, aren't they? Of course, as we said, the track was debuted back in '81 then, even before the time I was born as well. So yeah, the track must be old then. Probably needs a lick of paint, doesn't it? Anyway then, so that is the end of qualifying. We've got half series out there at the moment. I think it's Fireshot who's just cruising around. We've got Echo who's coming to the line as well. And he is out of fuel, but oh, is he going to make it to the to the line here as well? There's McLaren there. Sam going into the. I think was that Sam. I think he's improved his time very slightly there. Sam is really starting to get a hang of the game, isn't he? He's becoming a very quick driver, isn't he? And really, especially now with the. With him turning off traction control as well. That is the big story from Sam's life at the moment, isn't it? Well, professional life anyway. So that's the end of qualifying one. Then, of course, we've got 19 drivers on this very short circuit. 2.7 miles long. Out of qualifying, Roscoe, Mumford and Farf. None of them set times there, so that is unfortunate for them. They may have left it slightly too late then. I got to be honest, I thought Farf had a Man City badge there. I would have had to boo him. We've also lost Matt as well, who's out of qualifying, unfortunately. So those guys have all bit the dust, and they are out of qualifying. We're going to go to qualifying 2 then as well, which I'm sure that Nigel is really looking forward to my description of what qualifying 2 is. Young Lights is saying he is very happy with his qualifying 1 result, and as he should be. That was a fantastic lap there for Young Lights. I think I put him 2nd or 3rd, did it? Well, to be honest, so all that matters in that qualifying session was as long as you wasn't 16th or lower, really, wasn't it? Now we're into qualifying 2 then. And we are in qualifying 2 again. It's looking very dull and overcast over there at the moment, isn't it? As you can see, I'm just looking at the garages there. I've got to say, for a old school track, there is quite a wide pit lane, isn't it? It might even fit my body in there as well. But yeah, it is a wide pit lane there, isn't it? Good stuff indeed. There, as we've got cars coming on the track straight away. Now I did say that it is looking very threatening overhead. That I'm wondering, is the 2 tall Rosses there really battling for space on the track there, isn't it? I've got to say, these judgment are not judgment like when they come out of the pits, are they? It's all for one and one for all, is this? Look at them all, look at them all. They're all queuing as they come out. I reckon there might be rain on the horizon. This is going to be very interesting indeed then. Mumford's just commenting, at least he's not last then. No, so that's also a good thing as well then, because it was a good start there for Mumford, was it? As we're just having a look there. So I think it's the one the Toro Rosses is actually first, isn't it? So I've gone the long way round. Apologies about that. It's Fisher who is leading us around then the track at the moment then. Good stuff then. So then, of course, you can see then we've got a lot of medium tyres out there. We've got softs for Murphy. We've got also softs for Steve as well then. Everyone else is on the medium compound tyre. And that is because then anyone who is new to the qualifying game or new to Formula 1 in general, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And you've probably got me on mute as well already then, as you've probably listened to me for about 10 minutes. But yeah, so in qualifying 2 then, we are now aiming to lose another 5 drivers. But this time we are aiming to lose, it's going to be 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th, as I was seeing on the track map. You can see on the right hand side then. Track map shows where all the drivers are. It's good stuff indeed then. Fisher coming over to the line. He's going to start us that play. But whilst Fisher is going to put in his he's going to start us off, of course qualifying 2 is about dropping 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th. And the guys in the top 10 must start on the tyres, which they set their fastest times on as well. It sounds like a broken record. I might record myself saying that, so as I think that the sky's got slightly darker there. I'm wondering if these guys are out because it's so threatening. We do have a bit of sunshine now. You've seen a bit of the shadows there, and you can see there's still a bit of shadows coming from the trees there. But these guys are out very early on. That yellow flag is one of the Renaults there. It's not Murphy. Murphy is motoring through sector 1. Beautiful stuff there from Murphy. Great to have Dan back as well. Of course, everyone knows I'm a big fan of Dan's because Dan has been absolutely incredible in this game, hasn't he? He's really stepped it up a notch, hasn't he? Really good stuff. His season 2 performances from last season was great, and of course one of his best performances was in the Germany Grand Prix qualifying, wasn't it? It was absolutely, he's driving out of his skin, wasn't he, in that race? He was absolutely fantastic. That was the perfect way to run a qualifying session in the wet there from Murphy. Here comes Fisher. He comes out of the final turn, and course Fisher there with 7 wins to his ALR career so far, and he goes fastest so far on a 9-2. Good 17. His teammate Brandon very close to him. Brandon has had a renaissance as such as well, hasn't he? He's had a fantastic time since come back to ALR in the gold division. He's been brilliant, hasn't he? As Murphy has gone at third fastest moment now. I wonder if he feathered the throttle there slightly towards the end then, just to give us a tease then, as he's got slightly wide. I think his teammates in the facility. There is Twang now. Mr. Elite then is invalidated his time then. What about Young Lights? He was very impressed with his time so far, but he's invalidated his time. Grant, he has it. And Grant, he's done a 9-7 then. He wasn't feeling too confident last night as he goes wide then. Of course, you couldn't do that when this track was first up. Next, there was a big tree in the way, wasn't there? Of course, a random fact there. If anyone was interested in that, probably no one even cares. Here comes Sam coming to the line then, and Sam has gone 6 fast moment there, and he's a 10th for the second in front of the championship leader so far. So that is definitely an eye-opener, isn't it? Stringy in 10th position about there. He's just finished his time. Here comes Twang. We also got Jonathan Cox in the middle sector as well. We also got Echo as well, but he's invalidated his time, so we're going to stick with Stringy about. He's got purple in the second section. Stringy has said, as he's got DRS then. Of course, DRS is quite important, I would say, on this circuit. Sorry, I had to just, oh, there is rain, and that's why they're all out. Look at this, as the rain has started to come down. DRS is available. Oh my goodness me, then who is going to be sweating the most apart from me? This is going to get very interesting indeed, then, isn't it? I think Twang he's in the pits. Twang is, oh goodness me, this is not good for Twang. We've also got Jonathan out. Twang's flying through the final turn then. And how heavy is this rain going to be is the question. Jonathan hugs the line. He's only 7 faster so far, Jonathan is. Remember, he was quickest in the first sector as well. Young Light's going to have to go again then, as this is drama. Look, that is a lot of rain already, isn't it? Well, as Steve that goes into 9th position so far. Good stuff from Steve. He was the slowest of the cars to get through into from qualifying 1 then. At the moment, he is nipping through. Grant is on the cusp. As he's in the pits as well. Mr. Lee is going to go around again. Young Light's is invalidated this time. Twang is in the pits there. I wonder if he's doing his hair. He needs to get back out there quickly, doesn't he? Mr. Elite there is on track again. Let's go on board Mr. Elite then. So this is going to be very interesting indeed then. I was wondering why it was all out early. That is because it was raining then, and they're not eager to. They're not usually eager to come out on track. Of course, track evolution there. And that is a lot of rain. Look at the spots on the camera there. My goodness me then. And this is gonna get. It's just gonna get worse and worse, I believe, then, unless it's just a passing shower. Then maybe just a passing shower, and it might come as quick. It might disappear as quickly as it arrives. Then on board with Mr. Elite. Then as he is, DRS is still available, so it's still dry enough at the moment. Then as Grant is saying, by the skin of his teeth. My goodness me, it is the skin of his teeth at the moment, Grant is. But we've still got 9 minutes, and Mr. Elite is still in play. Young Lights needs to be in play as well, but he's cruising. I think he's out of fuel. Can Mr. Elite knock out the championship leader? Oh my goodness me. Fisher's retired from the session. He is happy at that, and he's just going to put his feet up as well. Both Toro Rosso are looking very good, isn't it? Remember at the beginning of the season, we were predicting Toro Rosso to be one of the major threats in the constructors. Unfortunately, hasn't happened so far yet, has it? But I think that Fisher's starting to show some really good form, isn't he? And I reckon that don't count Fisher out of this championship, not by a long shot. Mr. Elite then has really struggled. He is not. Remember, Mr. Elite is very good in the changeable conditions. Remember France season 1, he was absolutely spectacular, wasn't he? Got draw of the day, I think, that day as well. It was absolutely fantastic. Fire shot! It's gone purple in the first sector there. So we're on board. Lovely over the shoulder shot with a fire shot. I've got to say, the best helmet design of the year so far. Oh no, he's in the wall. He invalidated his time. He's in the wall. Fire shot is the first casualty in qualifying. Qualifying 2, I should say. Echo needs to get back out there as well. I think that was a fire shot having a bit of rage there. And unfortunately, there was a bit of fire to that helmet, wasn't there? And that was a pad as well. And I'm quite proud of myself. I sit back and enjoy. Twang there is just starting lap. So is Echo as well. DRS is still available. Can they find the grip? They needed Charles Leclerc-esque lap here. Remember 2018 Brazil. and now it's been disabled. I think it's near impossible. Granty is retired from the session, and he thinks he's through as well. Look at how much gingerly Echo is driving at the moment, almost as bad as me when I drive. Of course, as I was talking about the gingerliness, I would never insult Echo there with my with my poor performances, I can tell you that. Jonathan's also retired from qualifying as well then, but look at this then, because, well, I would say actually Echo's going as quick as me on this very wet track on slick tires. I'm going on a completely dry track, so yeah, my skill is not very good. Echo there, Echo unfortunately then I think has been caught out by this rain, hasn't he? There was a lot of kites out there straight on it straight away, wasn't it? And unfortunately, as I got a fly in here, blimey, I didn't know. I think it's a bit early for flies, isn't it? Oh, lovely shot here from the suspension there. Unfortunately, we ain't seeing the suspension hard at work, which I got to say that's a fantastic shot, isn't it? Just from the nose cone there of the Alfa Romeo. Looking back, it's absolutely a fantastic shot there. Really good stuff indeed there. So Twang there is also out of qualifying. So we've lost Mr. Elite. We've lost Young Lights. Young Lights, I should say there, as I got my tongue tied there. Twang also out of qualifying as well. As you can see there, it's still quite hot out there at the moment, isn't it? As Twang is Young Lights has crashed there. So it's good performances as Echo has gone up into 12th position there. That might pay dividends later on. I wonder if Twang's going to finish this up as well. Look at that. Oh, he's in the wall. Twang is in the wall there, and I gotta say that he's completely demolished the barrier there, and I gotta say those people need to get out of the way there. Maybe get under the gazebo there. Goodness me, then they're going to catch a cold out there if they don't get under the gazebo. But from Twang's point of view, that he just went into the wall of champions there. Twang is not a champion, but he's another victim in the wall of champions, and he's completely destroyed the Tech Pro barrier there, hasn't he? I think the Marshal's going to have to pull it back then. But yeah, Twang is out of qualifying now. Nigel's going on to the intermediate tyres because he wants to get the feel, doesn't he, on this track there when Q3 starts to pop up there. And I think, oh, look at that Tech Pro barrier is now sticking out slightly, isn't it? It looks a bit like my belly out on a Monday morning. Yeah, my belly sticks out quite a bit as well. Well, my beard cut does anyway. But yeah, Nigel then is going away then, so he's going to have a go on the intermediate tyres. This is exactly like this is exactly what happened last year. I'm sure we had a rain affected qualifying 2 and into qualifying 3, and then we had rain throughout the race, though, didn't we? And it was a very good race as well. I remember Silent Shifting got pole position last season, didn't he? It was a fantastic qualifying that from Silent Shifting. But in the rain in the race just really hurt him, didn't they? And it was Emerson who won this race last season, didn't he? He was a great drive as well from Emerson, a fantastic drive fed. Is he going to repeat it here tonight then? Remember all the guys that got through into qualifying 3 has to start on those tyres as well. If it is a dry race, that is a big if at the moment there. If it's a dry race, as Twang's just asked our call if we're still doing the 10th place. Yes, we are. So well done, Twang. But unfortunately, you're full team, so I think Grant has won that one. Of course, so what Twang is on about is, of course, we had the ALR has been presented. Nosey has been putting together some ALR lockdown laps, hasn't he? Just to spare the boredom as such, isn't it? Really, because unfortunately, as we're all stuck inside it, we all were meant to be. I've seen a couple of images of people enjoying themselves yesterday. I know it's hot out there, people, but yeah, I'm not sure why there are people outside. But anyway, then, yeah, I think that it was some lockdown laps there. Of course, the 10th place challenge there, which I really enjoyed. Spoilers, so it's good to have company in the old commentary box from time to time. Me and Nosey has a good old natter, don't we? The one I really enjoyed actually was the hide and seek one. I suggest I think it's on Alex Knowles' channel there, so I suggest you go and find it. And have a look at it. It's brilliant stuff indeed there. I really enjoyed that one. That's a very good idea indeed. Nigel there is still on the intermediate tyres at the moment. You can see the rain is coming down horizontal now, isn't it? I have a feeling that we might get some heavier rain then on the right. Then Nigel's invalid his time. I don't think this is about absolute lap time. This is about just finding his feet, finding the tyre, so to speak, in the qualifying 3 session, isn't it, for Nigel? Remember, the special occasion for the champion of season 1 here today, of course, Nigel's 40th race start. Of course, he's also accumulated the most points in ALR history as well at the moment, since he is on 500 and something, is he, in total. So that's a fantastic achievement as well, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed there from Nigel. Twan just said it's for the race. Anyways, better to be behind 10th, so you can respond there. Twan was, I think Twan was really good with the 10th place challenge. He really nailed it quite quickly. Good stuff indeed there. Mr. Elite there is just trying to have a go on the intermediate tire as well. That to me is telling me, as Sam is retired from the session. Congratulations to Sam, getting into Q3 once again. Then he's started to become a main factor in the midfield. Sam is now, isn't he? Very, very impressive stuff indeed there. And McLaren might be also starting to pull themselves up the table, isn't they? Of course, remember, Sam is in the relegation zone, but only on a points difference so far. Him and Mumford are actually in 18th and 17th at the moment now, isn't it? Remember, 18th and lower will get relegated to silver. That's the one, to silver. So yeah, so remember, that's what they were told to play for, isn't it? It's not about a championship anymore. It's also about not being in the bottom three and having the privilege to race on a Sunday, or if it is a privilege or not. I do not know. Well, I gotta say, I do prefer to race on Sundays because you know, just after your Sunday lunch, get on the old wheel, get on the old rig, and away you go then. But Echo is actually 10th and second up on this sector, isn't he? Remember, he did his first time there, didn't he, on the dry compound tires, didn't he, on the slick tires. Remember, the slick tires have no grooves in them, so of course they're not going to be able to stick. They ain't going to be able to clear any water whatsoever, are they? With the intermediate tires, you can see there's some shallow grooves on the green marked tires, isn't there? And it disperses 25 litres of water. And here is Echo then. He is second up in the second sector then. So unfortunately, Echo there just shows that he was. As Mr. Elite there is had an adventure somewhere. Just shows that he was unfortunately a day late and $1 short then. As Twan is saying, yes, let's talk relegation. Unfortunately, Twan is a problem at the table at the moment, isn't he? But I think that as I said though, I think that there's been a lot of hard luck for a lot of drivers down there, isn't there? For the likes of Gamer and for the likes of Twang and Sam Mumford, of course. And Stringy and Co have really have been very unlucky today as well. And remember, Roscoe as well getting knocked out qualifying 1. He's also been unlucky as well today, but he is in 15th position. Most snipping tuck, isn't it? Echo has improved his time actually. He's gone 4 seconds quicker on that lap. Well done to Echo. Good stuff indeed then from the Alfa Romeo then, as he is just trying to find his feet, isn't he? So to me, and I think as I interrupt myself once again then, Stringy there is still in the pits at the moment as Mr. Elite comes into the pits then. Slowing down then to the sensible speed limit. Oh, lovely shot here from the Alfa Romeo then. A lovely shot indeed then. Look at the back of the rear wing here from the Alfa Romeo. Fantastic stuff. Formerly known as the Sauber team, which is why we got some Swiss backers then on the back of the rear wing. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Of course, the team founded way back in '93, wasn't it, by Peter Sauber, and they've founded some incredible drivers out there. They've also had some incredible seasons as well. And I think 2001 was probably Sauber's best season. No, it was probably 2008 really, wasn't it? Of course, when there was a BMW Sauber, but when there was a full-fledged Sauber team, I think it was probably 2001, wasn't it? They had a great podium as well. I think Nick Heidfeld, they finished 4th in the constructors, didn't they? And of course, had Nick Heidfeld and a young Kimi Räikkönen, didn't he, making his debut that season in 2001. There's a lot of really good debutants back that season. Of course, we was also introduced to the world by Fernando Alonso and Juan Pablo Montoya as well. Echo there just coming across the line then, and that is qualifying 2 then, all done and dusted then. We are now going into qualifying 3 then. It's not going to be as fast and furious as it normally is there with this weather that is coming then. And got to say that you could have really bet your bottom dollar on it that we would have had some rain in this session there. So as a good stuff indeed then. As a Serious Mushroom has just messaged me saying, I'm watching Sean, good luck Williams. Sorry about the message there. Don't worry about that, Mushroom. As I've turned my notifications off because I'm a very sensible man now. Yeah. Fire shot then, as you can see them, we've lost 3 drivers, didn't even set a time again there. Fire shot, Twan and Lights there. Of course, we've seen Lights there crash into the World Champions. We've also seen Twan crash into the World Champions, and Lights there didn't get a time in. Echo in 12th position, Mr. Elite in 11th position, and Granty and Granty there getting through there. As Granty also said, I would have won this time. I would have won that Twan this time, referring back to the finish 10th challenge. Of course, next week, actually next Thursday, a little plug here for next week, it's the reverse circuit challenge. I'm really looking forward to that one. That's a good one. It's going to be interesting. Oh goodness gracious me, that is a lot of rain coming from the sky there. Oh dear, I'm wondering that it's going to be borderline wet tires, is it? Let's take a look at the wet tires have already been fitted. I wonder if someone will actually try and go for the intermediate tires then. Once again in Canada, you can you can definitely bet your bottom bottom dollar that that there is going to be some rain in the air. There's a lot of water in the St. Lawrence Seaway, but there's also a lot of water on the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. Coming on the pit set is Brandon, and he is now going to, you might need a paddle rather than those wet tires. Look at the paddles there, look at the paddles on the floor then. This is absolutely appalling weather here for qualifying 3. My goodness me then. And I think they might have to get a dinghy and fish these guys out by the end of this. Oh dear, I mean, look at the paddles on the outside then. There we got, so we're going to have to stay on that racing line. Look, if you go off the racing line then, my goodness me, and Brandon, I thought he was going to understeer into the wall there. Of course, that's the mini wall, which I always remember Fernando Alonso crashed there, didn't he, in 2005? And remember how incredible he was that season. But unfortunately, not going too well at all at the moment, is it? No, what? Yeah, well, Fernando Alonso's not going too well at all, is he? Because unfortunately, he is not in the Formula 1 season anymore. I did fall for a April Fool's joke momentarily the other day when I said Fernando Alonso's Mercedes overalls. I would personally, I would like to see Fernando Alonso against Hamilton again because yeah. See, I think it'd be amazing. Anyway, Brandon there. Everyone's on an out-off moment, apart from Stringy and Sam at the moment. Stringy in the pits there. I don't think Sam's out on the track now, so Stringy, I don't think Fans is getting wet at the moment, does he? As I think he's just enjoying the coverage of his Ferrari garage. There, Brandon is just coming down the new F1, aka Brandon there is just coming down the final straight to the start finish right now, and he's going to start up. Remember, that DRS board doesn't mean anything. That's a monsoon. My goodness me. Then I'm wondering if I want to be a red flag at this session in a minute, because this is absolutely appalling conditions there. We have got a Mercedes there of Emerson there who is going very slow, but now he's going to start up. Then we've got yellow flags on the back straight. We're going to keep an eye on Brandon. And oh, look at that! As he's skating off it. So he's in the wall. He's in the wall. He's done the same thing as Fernando Alonso there, but luckily, he's just damaged the front wing and nothing else then. Remember, Fernando Alonso straight with the wall. Unfortunately, ended with him in the pit lane and out of the race. And luckily for Brandon, this is just qualifying. And so he might be able to come back into the pits there and have another go out there. This is a short track then, and because it's wet now, you got 3 sets of wet tyres, haven't you? And I'm wondering though, if it is raining in the race, then I'm wondering if they're going to have to think about saving a set of these wet tyres. These wet tyres could disperse 60 litres of water per second. And then I gotta say, that's a lot of water to disperse, isn't it? Incredible stuff. That Brandon has damaged his front wing, but I'm wondering if he's going to continue that. As we've also just got Twang saying, yes, let's talk relegation. As we've also got Sam saying, hi Twang, Twang, hi, I'm in the relegation zone as well. But indeed you guys are. But we're only on round 30 now, 21. And we've still got 7 races to go, 7 or 8 races to go. Brandon's going the first one across the line. He's done a 22 so far. Here comes Fisher coming across the line. Where does Fisher put himself? First in the moment on a 21. Fantastic stuff from Fisher. And Grant, he's moved himself in the second position. Only a 10th for the second behind. And Nigel in third position. Good stuff indeed. Then we've got Mercedes of Emerson coming out to the line. Where does Emerson go? Look at him. He's hugging the inside. And Emerson's on pole position so far. Fantastic stuff. Jonathan is only down in 5th fastest so far. Here comes Murphy. And he's usually good in the wet. He is full fast at the moment there from the Renault. Good stuff indeed. Then we got Steve who's out on track at the moment there. And let's see what Steve can do as he comes up to the line. He's in the 22s as well. Steve is moved 3 tenths of a second away. Sam there is out on track at the moment there, but I think he is on a in lap as he is just cruising at the moment then, isn't he? So at the moment then, Emerson on pole position there. This will be Emerson's, I think this will be Emerson's 4th pole position. Remember, it took him all the way to Japan last season before he got his first pole position. This season he's already had 2, hasn't he? One was given to him, wasn't it, really? As unfortunately Fisher there got a 5-place group penalty for his misdemeanors in qualifying. So I'm going through turn 1 now. I thought it was going to be an invite. Look at the spray coming off of that McLaren. Goodness me, then there's a lot of water out there at the moment there, isn't it? Look off line there. Oh goodness me, then it's I gotta say that whatever floats your boat, well I gotta say water is floating everyone's boat at the moment, and there's so much from the sky, there's so much on the circuit then. And Stanley getting a bit of a twitch, he's 5 tenths per second over the first sector. Good stuff from Sam, but oh my goodness, he's done a Vettel there and going out wide. And of course that was a reference back to the longest race in Formula 1 history, 4 hours and 4 minutes there. And yep, so I sat there throughout the entire thing. Emerson's faster still. He's a half a second in front of Fisher. Wow, incredible stuff. Look at the rain. It's absolutely deluging down here. Incredible stuff indeed. I'm just keeping on. Sam, what can he do? He's 3/10 of a second up in the second sector, coming into the hairpin. Look at the lock he's got on that McLaren. Accelerates that in, not too close to wall. Then lovely shot here from the suspension then, as coming out of the very slight left kink there as well. Now coming onto the back straight, and of course the back straight used to be a series of left and right, very quick left and right kinks, didn't there? There was also a mobile chicane put there as well at 95, wasn't it? All coming, Sam, they're very close to the edge there, like it says on that AstroTurf. Sam is now is on to a 23, good stuff indeed there. As Emerson go for another lap? No, he's a second down. Granty is a 10 for a second up. Nigel's also following the zoo line, and so Granty is a 10 for a second up. That will put him very close to Fisher. Will it improve his time then? So Granty, is he going to continue on? We'll find out now as he's coming down the back straight once again there. He is running out of fuel though, so I wonder if he's going to come back. No, yet he's staying out. Yellow flag and free as that's a Mercedes there. And sorry, the monster is really repeating on me. And here comes Granty. He is second fast. He's going. That was a monstrous final sector there. 4/10 of a second improvement. Wow, Granty is really becoming the ballpark. And once again, it's the championship rivals there, batting away there for his pole position there. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. That Granty has got 2 pole positions to his to his career now, whilst Emerson's got 3 at the moment. And can Granty there find something with 5 minutes to go there and get an equal of 3rd pole position there with Emerson? My goodness me, that he's going to get very good indeed. Stringy there is still not keen on getting out there at the moment, is he? He is really not keen on getting where is he? Jonathan there is just in front of Fisher at the moment there, as Fisher there is might have to drop back slightly there. Of course, the spray which gets flung up in the air so high, doesn't it? You probably need to drop back by probably about 5 seconds, don't you? And you look off the racing line. That is incredible, isn't it? The amount of water we've got around this circuit. It's just accumulating. Remember, it started raining just about 5 minutes into qualifying too. And that's how much rain is. This is a lot. It's a lot of rain. Very similar to 2011. Jonathan's in the wall. Is he damaged the car? He might have gone square, and he might be all right. He is all right. Jonathan is going for a lap now, and let's see what I did. And so we're going to stick with Jonathan. Sam is still lapping out there at the moment, still doing some lappage. So Jonathan, look at it, strung to get into turn 2, then accelerating away. Then as that's a very towel-in shot there. It's Fisher there. I thought Fisher was going sideways. I don't think it was a racing point behind him of Nigel. It was Nigel. So he is in 4th position mode. He is on that lap. He's just come out of the pits, hasn't he? Jonathan, the first sector was a 10 for a second down. Emerson's faster still. He is almost out of the ballpark. Incredible stuff from Emerson. Maybe we need to keep an eye on Emerson. Incredible stuff. Oh wow, as Emerson. Oh my goodness me. Here's where we're driving. It's absolutely prowess. Fantastic stuff from Emerson. Amazing stuff. Granty was within the postcode, but all of a sudden he is just drifted out to almost 6/10 of a second. Incredible stuff. Jonathan is down on this sector as well. He is struggling. I wonder if he's keeping it all for the final sector. Fisher there is just following Jonathan behind at the moment, and this is look at the rain there. This is absolutely appalling there, isn't it? It's like UK weather, isn't it? Before the old lockdown, wasn't it, really? Now it's all sunshine and rainbows, isn't it? Fisher's back in the pits, and with 3 minutes to go, is Fisher done? I think he might be done here. Is Emerson that's still going out of the moment? No, I think he's on a cool-down lap. Sam is invalid. Simon 7/10 of a second up. Sam is incredible stuff. Jonathan from 3/10 of a second there in that final sector. Brilliant stuff indeed. Murphy is still in the pits as well with just 2 minutes to go there. Remember there, I know it's a short track, but you still got to be out there with time to spare on it. As long as you cross the start finish line before, and Brandon there went onto the grass. Oh, he's damaged the end plate on the tour also, and that is going to compromise the understeer. You don't need any more. You don't need any more understeer on these conditions there. Oh goodness me! Then so Sam there coming down the back straight again. Then and oh goodness me! Look at the fog. It's all closed, and this is appalling track conditions out there. As I got to say that this is awful conditions, isn't it? Oh my goodness me, it's a monsoon out there. We're going to have to get the old monsoon tires on. Brandon's retired from the session there. As Sam there is also cruising as well. I think he's out of fuel there, isn't he? Or perhaps his car is floated or acroplated there. I think he's getting up in the wars there. Striggy there is still in the pits road, and Steve is in 8th position road. Good stuff there from Steve. Jonathan is a second down then. Nigel, I think that there's going to be no improvement because this is absolutely appalling out there. Look at the rain. Look at the rain there. It is it's incredible out there. Yellow flags is for Sam at the moment there, isn't it? As Sam at the moment is just pulling off to one side there. Is Nigel going to go for it? Nigel is carrying on then, but I think it's the track is too wet to improve now. It's too wet. Look at it. Oh goodness. As we've also got I think that was Renault behind him as well. Murphy is going out. That is incredible. You can hardly see the cars coming at you. As you got it's such heavy rain. Oh, as oh gosh. I got to say I should have been a weatherman, shouldn't I? I get very excited about weather. Oh look, Granty in the first sector is almost half a second down. That is how wet it is out there at the moment, and you can see these wet tires are. I wonder if it's almost coming to the limit of these wet tires there. Is there, of course, back in I think it was 97 they used to have the monsoon tires, didn't they? See his retired from the session there. He's sitting the track limits there, and he doesn't think he can do no more. He got yellow flags. Oh, he got yellow flags. It's John for now. I think it's just get out of the way there. I think as we had two cars very slow there, didn't we? Murphy there is also going slow as well. There, as I think that they might. Oh, I hope they didn't trip over each other. Maybe I'm just putting two and two together. And my maths is just appalling, isn't it? Anyway, Grant there is on the back straight. There, I didn't see a second sector time there, but he's 4 second down. Sam is retired from the session as well. Stringy has decided to make an appearance there, but I think he's got to have a well, he's on a lap now. Stringy is 6/10 of a second down as Granty is second and a half. He's also Fisher on an out lap as well. We've also got Nigel who's on an out lap as well. Coming through. Oh, he's in the wall. I don't think he's damaged the car though, because I didn't see any pieces come off there. And in the background is the man who's on pole position road. Is Emerson, and you could only just about see what about Jonathan. Jonathan is coming through. He is 12 seconds down the road. Murphy is retired for the session. We're keeping on Stringy then. Stringy hasn't set a time yet. Oh goodness me then. As absolutely incredible stuff from over the shoulder shot here from Stringy. Look at this, he is wrestling that car. It's like a bear at the moment. It's one of the Canadian bears he's wrestling. I think there's bears in Canada, isn't there? I'm basing that fact on I think old X-Men film I watched. Exiting the hairpin now then, and coming down the back straight. I gotta say, if this weather actually hit the rain, hit the rain in the race, then I think that this would have been safety car or maybe even stoppage there. Is absolutely appalling. I think the real world Formula 1 they would have actually stopped this session, but of course ALR there is no stopping the session there as Stringy coming out of the final turn as well there, and he is coming up to sort of time now. I think he might have missed the boat, so to speak, and that was a pun as because it is absolutely because I think that no one's going to improve our times unless someone's going to prove me wrong. Here comes Granty. These guys are superhuman at time. Oh, Granty's in the wall there as I think that I don't think that was rain. I don't think that was weather conditions, was it? As we're just watching Emerson there, he's coming into the final turn and he hasn't invalidated his time and he's nailed that then. As Fisher's also finished as well. And Emerson is going to be on his third pole position of the season, his fourth of his career so far. Nigel's in the pits and can Jonathan capital off then? No! Emerson is on pole position then for the fourth time in his ALI career, for the third time this season. Incredible stuff there for the Mercedes driver. Wow, that man could walk on water today. Brilliant stuff indeed there from Emerson, and he's going to be able to repeat his Canadian victory from last season as well. Then this is going to get very frightful indeed. Then, isn't it? As just watching then try and saying, and there's no way you would. And just taking a look. Then I think I've missed I think I've missed a comment there. As Sam is just wondering who is starting on soft tires. I think there's two people starting on soft tires in the top 10. Ayrton this is Jensen Button's escape. This is Jensen Button's escape speed from Emerson here. We've also got I think I've read that wrong. I'll come back to that in a bit. We've also got Sam saying is a stream lagging on anyone else's screen. Then we've also got Glock saying we'll see that tomorrow. As Grant saying that's the worst weather he's ever driven in. Then GG to Evo from Grant as well. Emerson saying get in, and Jonathan saying that should have been a red flag. 0.6 of a second separates the pole position and the Grant Hughes on the front row. Once again, the two championship Rouse are going to go head to head then in this race, and this is going to be fantastic stuff indeed, isn't it? At the moment, the gap in the front is 17 seconds, isn't it? Hopefully Emerson could still be with us when we get going as well. He's had 2 disconnects, hasn't he, in the last 4 or 5 races? No, I'm 6 races. I apologise. The championship is absolutely flying by. Incredible stuff indeed then. Young Light saying well done, Emerson, and Sam asking why is it a red flag? Oh, because tractors were appalling, weren't they? Fantastic. Now we're getting ready for the race then. There is no water then on the track, which I would say is a good thing. Sorry, I forgot to swallow there. And so I tried to have a cheeky drink. You know, and I'll forget to swallow. Yeah, that just shows my my brain capacity, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, there's no rain on the track then. There's no water on the track then. So that is good stuff indeed. But once again, then, just like in qualifying, that sky is looking very threatening indeed. Then, and we'll find out if there will be any rain on the horizon. Excuse me. Ooh. So we've got 19 cars around here then. Emerson on pole position then for the 4th time in his ALR career then. He's restarting to nail his qualifying laps now, isn't he, Emerson? Remember, only 1 pole position last season, which was back in Japan, which is, I think it was round 17, wasn't it? This season then we're only on round number 13. He's already got 3 pole positions, hasn't he? So Emerson, if anything, his one of his weaker parts of his game was the qualifying the single lap pace. Well, he's nailed that one, hasn't he? A fantastic stuff indeed then. Incredible stuff. John for just confirming then that it's monsoon conditions. Let's go through the grid. 35 laps around this Gilles Villeneuve circuit. 19 cars. ALR season 3 round 13 then, and Emerson's on pole position there with Grant alongside him. That is row 1. The championship rivals once again then sharing the front row. Fisher there, of course, and the man who's got 7 race wins to his name in 3rd position. And Nigel has also got 7 race wins as well in 4th position. Murphy there is in 5th position. I think he's the 2nd highest with pole position so far. I think he's got 3 or 4, hasn't he? Oh no, I think he's got 4. Jonathan, who has the highest pole position, is 6th position. Brandon 7th. Steve in 8th position. Sam in 9th. Well done to Sam. 10th position is Stringy, and he is the meat of the McLaren sandwich in the 9th position there. Echo in 12th. Welcome back, Echo. Lights in 13th position. Twan in 14th position. Hope for driver of the day. Fireshot in 15th position there. Matt in 16th. From Farf in 17th position. Mumford didn't get very far from qualified, did they? But he's in 18th position. And Roscoe in 19th position. One man is on the hard tyres. That is Fireshot. Soft tyres for Dan, for Steve, for Mr. Elite, Echo, and Mumford and Roscoe. Everyone else is on the medium tyre then. So here we go then. We're just watching the guys that come through the War Champions. I expect some people to be in that War Champions by the end of these 34 laps. Twang has already visited it once, hasn't he, in qualifying now. Made a big old mess of his car and the Tech Pro Barrier. 1 Mercedes in the front, 1 Mercedes in the back. There's Mumford just lined up 18th on the grid then. We're waiting for the lights. There they are. Emerson is still in the session. 4, 5. There's a yellow flag, but don't worry about that because there's green lights there all around the track. So the lights have gone on and we are... Go! And it's a good start from Emerson. Beautiful start from Emerson. Man, Mumford's had a good start as well. As there's Matt's Matt's had a problem already. And so I'm not sure what's happened to Matt there. I'm not sure what happened there. But Matt has had a terrible start already then. So Emerson leads then. And at the moment it's Mr. Lee's moved up 2 positions. And Simon's got up 1 position as well. And severe collision. A severe collision. And oh my goodness me. As Striggy has had a problem. It's both Ferraris have come together then on the opening line. Mr. Lee has gone past Steve. Mr. Lee is on fire. Oh, he's on a mission. It's even Mercedes won't let him by us. They come out to 9 then. And it's a drag race. There's no DRS just yet. And then coming down. Oh my goodness me, that's enough from her. I thought he's in the wall then. The barrage kind of sneaks out of you as well. Mr. Lee is up to a fantastic stuff. Mr. Lee, Simon's now under pressure from Young Lights. He's up 2 positions. 4 positions for Mumford. Fantastic stuff. Street down 7 position. Look at this. Young Lights. Oh, that's contact. Steve is half round. Look at this. Young Lights there is trying to go on the inside of Sam then. As they having a drag race out down the back straight. Sam is still in at 10th position, but Young Lights is now all over the gearbox, and so is Echo as well. And look at this, we've got a double, triple, so slipstream here. They're coming down to complete that one, and as Emerson leads at second position is a fair granted, and good start indeed, and as you can see, set the fast on the race. And we've also got Twang in the pits, got Farshot in the pits as well, as we do have pit activity already on this race. And Stringy is got all front wing there, so Farshot has got a load of wing damage as well. Farf has also got wing damage. Matt has as well. 5-second penalty for Matt. He's on a bit of a miserable start to this race so far. Look at that, Emerson's already a second in front, and oh goodness me, was that Murphy? Goodness me, he was getting very aggressive coming around like turn, wasn't he? Nigel in full position there at the moment. Status quo from the first 7 positions there, isn't it? They all remain in the same positions there so far. Remember last season we had an epic battle, didn't we? From second all the way down to 9th and 10th there, and that was because of the weather conditions as well. Jonathan is under pressure at the moment, as he is Brandon's all over the back of him at the moment as they come down into the hairpin. And is Brandon is going to have a look there? Not quite there. Look at that McLaren driving behind him as well. Stringy's got by. He's got by Mumford and moved up into 13th position. Good overtake there from Stringy there, and showing the pace that he has there. He got to Q3, didn't he? So fantastic stuff as well as they come down to the chicane and a 13 and 14 to complete lap 2. It's already Emerson's out of the DRS zone already. Fantastic stuff. Now the DRS will be available at the end of this lap, and Emerson is really having an incredible start into this Canadian Grand Prix. I know he wants to win this one as well. DRS has been enabled then as you come through the hairpin. Stringy set the fast lap of the race then. In the Ferrari, then. Good stuff from String there. He didn't have a very good start then, did he? So 4 positions, Mumford. Well done to Mumford, of course. Dropped down 3 positions as well, and Mr. Lee also at 3 positions. Good stuff indeed there. Just taking a look at the position change as well then. As you can see, Fisher is all over the diffuser. Fisher's got DRS there. This is the first activation. We've got 3 DRS activation zones around here. Jonathan there is getting very off. He was very close to the bar there, wasn't he? But he's okay. And good stuff indeed then. We've also got Sam who's all over the back, and Young Lights is through and past Echo and Stringy. And Sam is off the track. That's why I was wondering where Sam gone. But Sam is off the track and he's had a problem as he damaged the car. I had a quick look then, but he hasn't damaged the car. He's okay. Good stuff there from Sam. So I think the guys at the back will probably go for DRS now. For the safety car now, won't they? Fisher's going to go the inside of Granty. He takes second position. Fantastic maneuver there. Granty looking to struggle to have the pace of Ocas. Nigel's now all over the back of him as well as they come down into the first corner. That is Nigel's through and up into third position. Remember, Nigel, this is his debut, wasn't it, back in season 1, where the start of his story really began in ALR. Fantastic stuff from Nigel, isn't it? He is having the third position there. Look at Young Lights. He's past Steve and moved up into 9th position. Steve dropping down to 10th position there. Steve's got the soft tires. Ocas, he's going to have another sneak up the inside, goes contact. Steve's in the wall there. I'm not sure what was going on there, if it was a ghost there from Farshot at the fast lap race, where is a ghost in the lights there or what, but yellow flag there for Steve, and that's unfortunate, that isn't it? And that is a shame then. Granted, dropping down the full thing because Nigel's got by him as well, and we've got a queue then also, so we've still got a queue at the moment, and now haven't they, as this track can be very easy to overtake on, isn't it? But of course, you also have to be very careful as well. Unfortunately for Steve, he has damaged the car. That is going to have to be pit lane bound, isn't it? For the Haas there, as Stringy's back up after an appalling start from Stringy. He's back up to 10th position there. So Stringy on a fantastic drive back through the field. Then good 17. He's also got DRS as well. Jonathan's all over the back of Murphy as they come down into the chicane then. But at the moment, then it's status quo as they come through to complete lap 4 in this race. Then no, it might be lap 5. No, it is. Yeah, it is lap 5 then in this race. Oh my goodness me, that was a Red Bull getting very close, and Brandon's at the inside. Echo is in the wall. Echo's in the wall. Oh, that's a big shot from Echo, and that is a major problem. A virtual safety car. Steve is in the pits, and this might help Steve as Jonathan and Brandon were battling side by side. I'm wondering if Brandon got by him. Well, if he did, he'd love to get the place back. Echo is our first retirement here in Canada. What a shame for Echo on his return, and he has gone into the wall. And what a shame for Echo. And virtual safety car. They have to adhere to the Delta on their steering wheels and in the top right hand side, and I've got the telemetry on for some reason. Let's get rid of that, shall we? As we're going to be back racing just 3 minutes. Jonathan there doesn't want to get a penalty. Oh my goodness me, I thought he's a long time. Echo's after session there. What a shame for Echo. He is out of the race, and no, it's not. Jonathan is in the wall, and I think that he just understeered, didn't he? He has damaged the car. Yellow flag and free then. As look on the inside, Mr. Lee is having an incredible start to this race, and he accelerates. He's on the soft compound tires. Yellow flag in 2 because that's a Ferrari. Farf is the wrong way. Farf is the wrong way. He's had a problem. He's had a problem in the first sector. That's the whole front wing gone of Farf. A lovely light show there as he goes through Jonathan. Oh, goodness me! Jonathan is come together now. I'm not sure if he come together with Mr. Elite or what, but my goodness me, then as Matt has also had problems as well. Matt has had a problem. I'm not sure if Matt's got a problem with the equipment or what, but he's having troubles there. Jonathan there. I'm not sure if he comes together with Mr. Elite or whatnot, but that looked very I looked very suspect there, didn't it? Mr. Elite has had an incredible start. Virtual safety car getting in. So we've had 2 virtual safety cars in a matter of moments here in Canada. It's been a crazy old start here in Canada, hasn't it? Jonathan there is just coming out the pits as well. Is he going to go in front of Twang? Twang still has to go through the proper go for the try end. So Jonathan out in third position. He's on the soft tyre, as said. As Farf's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Said. At the moment, Fisher's really started to hunt down Farf's retired from the race there. He's having a bit of a miserable time in ALR at the moment, isn't he? As Farf's left session as well. Dior's is back available. We're back racing. Granty's down to 4th at the moment. He's struggling with the pace out there in the and now Murphy is all over the back of Granty as well. Up on the back straight as well. Then it's he's coming in the pits and what. The outside of turn number 7 or 8, wasn't it? Oh, goodness! Was in the back. We've got a lot of red X's all of a sudden here at the moment as they come across the line once again, and that light has passed. Mr. Elite's in the pits then, and we've got to invest. I'm not sure, I'm not going to call what happened there, but we just in the end of it there, didn't we? Mumford up into 10th. Fantastic stuff from Mumford. Really good stuff indeed. Sam is also Sam is up in the 10th position. Right, there's McLaren mechanic sorting out the nose cone and the nose section on the McLaren, and he's out of the pits now. And oh wow, what's that? Oh goodness me! And I'm not sure if I'm seeing anything or what, but Twang is up in the 13th position then. Jonathan is down to 14th, and Far Shot is got by as Mr. Elite is coming out of the pits now. And oh my goodness me, he's going to be right in the mix of this. He is in the mix of this, and as Jonathan there is just out in 30th position, so they resume their battle from then. Oh, this is going to get very tasty indeed. Then isn't it? As we're on board with Jonathan, I should say that, as they're coming down into the. Coming down to the first sector now. Then Jonathan there. Sorry, not Jonathan. Who is it? It's Murphy. How can I forget Daniel? And so the gap is now up to 9/10 of a second there. As Fisher and Miss Pfister and Emerson is really now starting to really battle away, isn't it? Granty is starting to find his feet now. With I've got Fisher on the mind. Mr. Elite is I don't know where to look. Oh my goodness me! Stay on board, and oh goodness me, I think we're in the Matrix, haven't we? I think I've read days on through this time. Sam is now in the 9th position, and he passes Mumford down to 10th. Far Shot 11th, 12th position is Twang. 13th is Mr. Elite with Jonathan in 14th position. As look at the caliber of drivers. It's Far Shot, Twang, Mr. Elite, and Jonathan all battling away. Then as we're jumping all around at the moment, aren't we? Hopefully this will clear up in the not too distant future. Far Shot is in 11th position. Then as Mr. Elite and Jonathan there is all over the back of Mr. Elite. Jonathan going on the soft tires here. Mr. Lee's gone to the medium tires. Mr. Lee was on the soft tires and is now going to the medium tire. If you made any sense of that, then you're a better man than I am, or a better woman than I am. Goodness me, then that would have been. Oh no! His Twang is going to Fire Shot, and oh goodness gracious me, that is not good at all. Fire Shot has damaged the nose cone, and that is I think the Twang there might have just got a bit too eager on the loud pedal, and now he's really struggling. And this thing is now Mr. Lee is all over the back of Twang, and look at this. And he is all they're merging together. Oh goodness me, we'll leave him to it. As Mr. Elite is up into is up into well, they're ghosted. They're all over the show here. As I might not even be seeing what everyone else is seeing at the moment. Then as I think it's my internet, apparently. I think it's my internet, so we'll leave them to it, shall we? Anyway, let's carry on then. Lap 9 out of 36, 35, I should say that. Emerson leads. Second position is Fisher. Then we've got Nigel in third position. Granty in fourth position. Brandon in fifth. Fantastic stuff from Brandon. Sixth position is New Lights. But Granty's finding his feet. He's back up in the third position. He passes Nigel, and away he goes. And Granty had a bit of a difficult start, hasn't he? But he is now back away, and he is back in the fourth position. Good stuff indeed then. And Jonathan there is very close to the back of Jonathan and Mr. Elite and Twang going to be resuming their battle as well then as they come out of the hairpin as well then. And on the back straight, and look at Grant, he's almost half a second in front then. Fisher is still 8/10 of a second. Him and Emerson are matching each other stride for stride in this race at the moment then, and they come through then the world champions. But oh goodness me, Nigel had a much better run there, didn't he? And Nigel and Murphy's now all over the back of Mumford. Nigel's going to go on the inside into turn one, but Grant is still in the prime position then. And look at this, Murphy is now up into ninth position, and Mumford dropping down to 7th position as well. We've got a ghost Red Bull there of Matlin who's really struggling out there. I'm not sure if there's a problem there. And now as Mr. Leeton is up the inside, not quite. Twang is still in there. It's in this incredible battle, isn't it? Unfortunately, fire shot came across there, didn't he? And that was a shame there. And they're coming down. Where's Jonathan? I thought Jonathan's going to have a lunge. As, remember, as these two were battling the points there, weren't they? Jonathan's got the soft tires. He needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining. And the sun is shining beautifully well. As Mr. Elite then, I think Mr. Elite let Jonathan go there, didn't he? I wonder if Mr. Elite is thinking maybe thinking about the long game here then, perhaps then, as Murphy is now all over the back of Sam as well. Murphy is of course coming to the pits very early on. I wonder if he's thinking about the undercut here, and potentially the undercut is very powerful on it. Fisher has had an amazing lap around Canada, because he is now a 10th per second. He's less than a 10th per second. There he is. There's the battle for the lead between Emerson and Fisher. Look at them down side by side. No, there's Lionel Stern, and now Fisher pulls out. He's on the outside into turn one. Fisher has taken the lead. Emerson's not giving up, but Fisher is dancer on the outside. He takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Murphy has got by and in front of Sam. I'll move on to 9th position as well then. Wow, what a move there from Fisher there. Oh, Fisher there has got a bit squirrely out of turn 4, coming through the king of 5. Emerson is going to have a look. Where is he? Oh, goodness me. Yellow flag as Mumford is what is happening there? Not sure what's happening there, but yeah, it's now as Twang and Jonathan is still having good old battle here, isn't he? As Roscoe now moved out to 13th position as well. Oh, goodness me. Nigel then is... Oh, Granty has gone wide. Oh, Nigel also gone wide as well. Having to correct the steer. And look, there's Brandon in the back. He's having a fantastic race at the moment, isn't he? Brandon in 5th position there. As Emerson has got the DRS then as he comes down the back straight once again. Fireshot's at the fast on the race at the moment. He is in 16th position. Fireshot, both Haas drivers are having a difficult start into this Canadian Grand Prix. And Fisher there was feeling. They're both in the pits then, side by side. Then they're coming into the pits. And what tires go? Is it going to go on the hard tires perhaps then? I gotta say once again, I'm showing my how poor I am with the strategy. And Nigel is again and having a look then at Grant. Grant takes the lead, and Brandon is also is coming in for Young Lights on a fantastic race, isn't he? He's having the 4th position, good 17. Stringy also up in the 5th bed. Out of the pits comes Fisher, out of the pits comes Emerson as well. Here comes Murphy. Is Murphy gonna get himself involved then? He had to cut more for two some pretty good fights, and then no, not quite. Emerson is on the soft tires. Fisher's got the medium tires. Remember the history retreat. Emerson and Murphy has almost got himself really involved in this battle, hasn't he? His tires are already warming, isn't they? As they come around turn 5, yellow flag in one. Then what's going on? What is whether the I think it's Matt, is it? It's Matt who's retired for the race. We got a virtual safety car. We have a virtual safety car then. It's deep breath, everyone. Then oh no! It's what was that? It's that was an Alfa Romeo, was it? No, it wasn't. I don't know. What am I looking at? I don't know. But unfortunately, then that's I'm not sure what's going on, to be honest. As I try and just get myself sorted out. Unfortunately, Matt is out of the race, and Matt was had a problem straight from the get-go here tonight, didn't he? There was I'm not sure what went on with Matt, but he didn't even get off the start line very well, did he? Pit lane drama. Into the pits comes Granty. He's got a 5-second penalty. Granty has. Oh goodness me! Then that could be a major problem in this race later on. As so Granty's in the pits, and Brandon and Young Lights have stayed out there, and Nigel's in the pits. Right, he's going on to the soft compound tires. Granty, he's in and out. Emerson's got a penalty as well. Then as now out of the pits also comes at Nigel as well. As Grant is just commented no, and unfortunately it's no, isn't it? Murphy is up into the 4th position. He's caught Emerson napping. He's caught me napping as well. He is up in the 4th position there. Murphy on a return to ALR is now battling for the lead here in Canada. Fisher has got he's got the soft tires, doesn't he? Twang. Oh my gracious me! And Jonathan, and where is Jonathan? Jonathan is side by side, and Jonathan just let him out of the way. Oh goodness me! Now Mr. Elite was also trying to get through as as well. Very gentlemanly there from both those guys. But my goodness me, this is getting very frightfully close there, isn't it? In this battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th position. These three cannot be separated about. There's Twang is once again leader. Jonathan's gone wide and he's on the soft towers. Jonathan is. We're on board with Mr. Leader. Look at the diffuser of Jonathan there. As he is pulled out and Mr. Lee is trying to go on the inside. Jonathan cannot let him pass. Remember, he's on the soft towers. He needs to make this work now. Young Lights is 6/10 of a second away. Murphy is only 8/10 of a second away from Fisher as well then. And into the pits comes Young Lights and Brandon's gone, Twang's gone wide there. Look at that Ferrari, that's Striggy there, who is probably looking very eager as well as Fisher and Murphy go through as well. And this is an incredible battle, isn't it, here in Canada. There's battles all the way up and down the field at the moment. It's absolutely fantastic stuff at the moment, isn't it? And once again then coming through the wall champion. Out of the pits comes Brandon and Young Lights in that 6th and 7th position there. Nigel is just a couple of seconds back about. This is the battle for the lead. It's Fisher. There's Murphy. There's Emerson then. As Fisher there is taking the lead and he's on the soft tires now. Murphy's done 3 more laps on the tires than Emerson has said, so that might pay dividends later on then. But Murphy has done the undercut and he is now in fresh air, isn't he? As so let's see what he can do with that. What he can do with that fresh air as well. We'll come back to that in a minute because I think that this is the battle to be keeping on at the moment. Well, I'd say that. Oh, Twang's gone wide and now Jonathan is through and up into 9th for the other 8th for this there. Oh goodness me! Oh no! As I think yes, Mr. Elite there, so they were going across there. Now Mr. Elite has gone off the track. Oh dear! I think they need to use their wing mirrors a bit more, don't they? I know the wing mirrors on here is useful. So for chocolate fire dart. Oh no! Mr. Elite has gone into the side of Twang as well. Now Stringy's got involved as well. There's a lot of shenanigans going on in the middle part of this. And the middle part is having now Stringy there. Oh goodness me, Stringy and Mr. Elite there have also come to blows as well. Goodness me, then they're on a this is not good at all then. Now we're in the follow chicane and Stringy is through number 2 attempt for this there. Stringy's on the bare X as well. Of course he's on the soft tires. He's trying to make hay whilst the sun is shining as Jonathan has done 2 laps there. And now Stringy's at the inside. He passes Jonathan. He has moved up into 9th position there. And Stringy is away then. Twang there is the cork in this bottle. Twang is 8 seconds away from the leading battle at the moment, which is Young Lights. 4 seconds away from Nigel is Brandon at the moment. So the battle. Oh, as Twang now I think was just correcting the slide there. He's really struggling at the moment. Twang is. He's done 13 laps on those medium tires. He's done that's the most lappage that anyone's done on any type of tire at the moment. So coming down the back straight once again. Then Stringy there. Twang's gone the inside. So Stringy's going to go on the outside. Stringy is through. Stringy. Oh no! As Twang is strutting, he is spinning it. It's getting frightfully close there. Twang is spins it around then, and he is trying to recover there. Look at the background as well. There's Mumford and Dan Murphy as Emerson and Murphy have come renewing the roster as well. Sam has dropped down, has gone into a position. Twang has dropped down as well. The other Renault is battling for second position in this race. 1.6 seconds at the moment is the gap at the moment. Jonathan is now only 2 tenths of a second away from Emerson. No, not Emerson. Mr. Elite. He's now side by side with Mr. Elite. He passes Mr. Elite. He has moved up into 9th position then. So Jonathan is now. Can he get out of the reach of Mr. Elite? Because Mr. Elite is really clinging on. Look at Sam in the background as well. There's a bit of a train forming behind Sam and a good old bar as well. Sam just outside the points as well. Outside the points at the moment, and we've got Twang and Mumford then in 11th, 12th and 13th, and Steve is 10 seconds back as well. We got Fireshot in 15th, then also making a recovery drive. Then back with this battle here. Then this is the battle for second position mode. It is Dan Murphy and it is Emerson. This is cracking battle, isn't it? Between the two relatives that is related. Then is that Emerson there giving Dan a bit of a nudge then onto the fuse then. Remember these were side by side down the back straight last time, and once again then Emerson has got the DRS. And how is Murphy going to defend it? He goes on the inside, so Emerson is going to leg to the outside then. And once again they're side by side. Emerson is going to, but oh my goodness me, now Emerson is through. Emerson is up in the second position. Now has he got the pace to get after Fisher? Oh no, because Murphy's coming back. And Emerson come down this time for the straight. Murphy's going to go on the inside. Not quite, as Emerson then breaking slightly deeper as well. Into the pits comes Brandon. Brandon's in the pits. There's a problem with the Toro Rosso, I think. Grant, he's got another penalty as well. As, he's damaged the nose cone. He's damaged the nose section. And that is a shame there, isn't it? And Oh my goodness gracious me! That is an appalling accident between Twang and Mumford. Oh gosh, that is an awful smash. That's a safety car. A safety car in this race. Twang is gone into the back of Mumford, and almost an almost rate of knots there. And into the pits comes Farshot and Brandon as well. Brandon is coming out just behind the safety car. He gets green lights then. That is a horror show of Roscoe's got a drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm wondering if he was actually trying to think about cutting the pits then. That's an appalling accident, isn't it, from Twang? I'm not sure what happened there. We caught the end of it then as Twang. I'm not sure if Twang went full speed into the back. Roscoe's got a 10-second penalty. Oh dear, as Roscoe is, I'm not sure, Roscoe's retired from the race then, and he is out of the, he's out of the race then, unfortunately. Into the pits comes Fisher, and this is, I think this is a very good, this is helping Fisher out a lot, isn't he? And the era the mechanic said, so remember, you cannot lose too much time in the pits then, can you? And the Toro Rosso's getting with car 13, and as anyone who's staying out then is the Toro Rosso. Oh, he's being held up. No, he hasn't, and he's away. Young Lights is staying out. Young Lights is leading the Canadian Grand Prix, or is he? We're going to find out. It's going to be close up. Where is he? Young Lights leads the Canadian Grand Prix. Fidget Murphy's out in front of Emerson. Murphy is in third position. Emerson is done 11 laps. Emerson's got 11 laps on his medium tyres. What's going on there? Is Emerson? Does Emerson not have any new medium tyres? Perhaps. Oh goodness me! Then I'm not even sure what's going on here. Emerson has got 11 lap old medium tyres then, and one of the championship runners that. That's going to hurt him. Nigel's on the hard tyres. Granty's on the medium tyres. Mumford has stayed out, and Striggy in the pits on new medium tyres. John on new medium tyres as well. Hard tyres for Mr. Elite. Brandon in the pits, and he's on the medium tyres as well. Farshot is coming the pits the last time. Is Farshot going out in front of Brandon? No, not quite. And Brandon out in a 12th position, and Brandon out in 11th position, Farshot 12th. Sam out in a 30th position, Steve out in 14th position there. As LH 44. Hey, hello LH. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast tonight. I certainly am indeed. Roscoe's left for session as well. Let's take a look at the retirement, shall we? Echo retired, Farf retired, Matt is retired, Twang and Roscoe all retired from this Canadian Grand Prix. Round 13 of ALR tonight, and my goodness me, I've had my work cut out for me tonight so far. We are about half distance, give or take a lap. So we are about half distance. Matt has left for session as well. I think there might have been some problems with, I'm not sure if don't quote me on this, but I'm wondering if there's an issue, and if there's an issue on Matt's steering wheel or something like that. But he had problems getting away from the start there, and he was strangely off the pace here tonight, wasn't he, Matt? So yeah, hopefully we'll find and into the pits there. So Emerson's in the pits then, and yeah, he was on 11 lap medium tyres. He has now got onto the hard tyres, Emerson has, but that is not good at all. And look at how much time he's losing. He is down in 11th position then. His Farshot, Emerson is still going to be behind, still going to be on the pit limiter. Farshot is going to be out in 11th position then. Simon C is just catching up behind them. So Emerson is down in 12th position. The man is on pole position, is down in 12th position in this race. Goodness gracious me, this is going to be very intense. Final couple of laps. Not even a final couple of laps. We're just over half distance in this Canadian Grand Prix. Twan, let's say, and Twan saying sorry for the crash. Was going into the pits to retire. Wasn't on purpose there. So he's also said sorry again. So Twang there going straight into the back of Mumford there, and he has caused a safety car here for Twang. But from Mumford's point of view, he got damage there. Grant got damage. I thought he seen damage there, but yeah, it's Mumford got damage. Then I suppose no harm, no foul, no harm, and all that kind of stuff. Perhaps unfortunately for Twang there that it didn't. Unfortunately for Twang there, who was having a big battle with safety cars in at the end of this lap. He wasn't on a battle with the safety car, by the way, but safety cars in the end of this lap then. He was on an epic battle with Twang, with Mr. Elite, with well, no, Twang wasn't on a battle with himself, was he? Oh, sort it out. Twang was having a great battle with Mr. Elite, with Jonathan and Stringo involved as well. It was a great three-car battle. I was really enjoying that. Young Lights has become the de facto safety car. He leads the Canadian Grand Prix. As I keep saying, since Australia, this man has become a new man, hasn't he, in the Red Bull, and he is flying the flag high for the Honda Power Cars at the moment, because we've got two Hondas leading of Young Lights and Fisher. Where's he going? He's going, he is gone. We're back racing here in Canada. Lap 19, no, lap 20 now. 15 more laps to go around this Gilles Villeneuve circuit. We're back racing. Lights, then we got Fisher, then we got Murphy, Nigel, and then Granty, Mumford, Fisher, Jonathan, Mr. Elite, and Brandon. That is the top 10. Fisher is past. No, it's Stringy who is past Mumford. No, he's not. Yellow flag in one. Emerson's had a problem. Emerson's had a problem then. And oh goodness me, it's going from bad to worse then. Stringy's got a 3-second penalty as well then, as he was battling away with Mumford as well. So we're just taking a look there. Young Lights has dropped down to second position. Young Lights has dropped down to second position there. Now Murphy's going to go up and under. Young Lights on the medium hard tyres, whilst Murphy and Fisher on the medium compound tyres as they come down the back straight. Is he going up the inside? Young Lights there breaking a bit later than Murphy there, isn't he? As a far shot is past Brandon and moved up in 10th position. Are they? They're switching positions there. And there, I think that's an epic ball, isn't it? Murphy down the inside there. But Young Lights has got wide there. I think he might have baited him in there. Is I also got Stringy now going up the outside of Mumford. And then Mumford there is oh goodness me, that's a whisker between them two. Oh wow, incredible stuff. And as Murphy is now on the back of Young Lights. He wants to get by as quick as possible. Can Murphy get his first race win in ALR? As Young Lights is taking the Jonathan, they're getting forced out into the pits because Mr. Elite who's having such a fantastic start to this race, is just going just having a bit of a disappointed race so far. Stringy's on the inside. Mumford is trying to keep it on the outside. And Mumford there is still on the inside, but Stringy has just gone on the outside. Mumford's got 10 laps on those medium compound tyres. Murphy's got 10 laps on the medium tyres, and it's 3 laps for Stringy. Jonathan there getting edged outside there, wasn't he? And I don't think that was helping at all, was it? Brandon there is all over the back of far shots. Well, look in the background, there is Sam, there is Steve. This is a good battle as well, as Emerson's on the hard tires. He is on the back foot now. Granty is once again, who was on the back foot earlier on this race, all of a sudden is now going to be extended this in the championship. My goodness me. I think that's absolutely fantastic stuff, is it, for Granty's point of view? Emerson is very much on the back foot now, and now down the inside, Brandon, that's a lunge and a half. Far shots like that. Look, there's also another Haas in the background as well. Sam and Steve are battling away. Sam and Steve and Sam. Now we got Far shot and Brandon looking up there, 2 by 2 by 2. And they come down the back straight, and we got, oh goodness me, this is going to get very frightful indeed. There's a come down free abreast and go down to the hairpin. Far shot is 10th. Sam is, Far shot, no, Sam 10th. C 11th, and Brandon in 12th position as well. They come over the grid hatches once again then. Incredible stuff. Mumford is dropping down the position. That is Jonathan has gone up to 7th position. Fantastic stuff. Far shot is now leading this trio of cars, this quadra cars. Look at Emerson, he's all over the back already. Good stuff there from Emerson. And the sun is now starting to burst through the clouds. Lights is in second position with Murphy in third position, 2/10 second the gap is the moment. But this is the battle that we're keeping an eye on at the moment, because this is an almighty scrap, isn't it, for the final, for the lower end of the points. 14 cars remain. Murphy has passed Lights. He has passed Lights, and he's up into second position. Murphy's on an incredible comeback drive here tonight. Fantastic stuff. And we've also got Sam who's on the inside. Oh, contact there between Far shot and Sam. Now he's been pushed out wide then, and then Sam is dropping down out of the points at the moment. With Brandon is up there. They're having a wheel-to-wheel battle going down to the hairpin now. Sam is going on the inside. Oh, a bit of a love kiss there on himself from Brandon, and accelerating away then. And but Brandon's had a much better purchase out of the hairpin, and now Brandon is back up to 10th position, with Sam is dropping down to 11th position. But look at it, they're wheel to wheel. They both got DRS, and that's from Far shot as well. Emerson has also got by Steve. And oh goodness me, Brandon and Sam have come together. Sam has got huge damage on that McLaren. What a shame was that. I'm not sure Brandon's sitting or what, but yeah, he just we've had a lot of incidents down there, haven't we, today in this race set. As I wonder if some people might need to adjust their wing mirror slightly then. But unfortunately, Sam, who's on an absolutely outstanding race, has damaged the car. Now Brandon is all over the back of Far shots, while Mr. Elite is now in 30th position. Stringy's got a 3-second penalty. Remember, the penalties are going to be a big talking point towards the end at the moment. Far shots done 7 laps on the hard tyres, and Brandon's on the medium tyres, and Emerson's also on the hard tyres. Well, Emerson's got no points at the moment. It's not going too well at the moment. Brandon's on the outside. Brandon's on the outside again. Then it's now Far shot is Fireshot has still got the inside line, and Fireshot is defending for all he's worth at the moment. Back on board with Emerson, who's in 12th. 11th position, second in the championship. Brandon's on the inside. Fireshot gives him room then. Brandon's on the outside, but Fireshot should have the momentum there because he's taking more of a wider line then. But once again, they're side by side. Fireshot is giving him a good old squeeze at the moment as they come down the back straight. Now we've got Emerson also being involved as well. Look at them, they're wheel to wheel again. Now Emerson's also gone. The slipstream, he's got the DLS. They're going to be free abreast going down today. Oh, goodness me. Fireshot is not giving it in. Seriously, fantastic racing there. And Emerson, and I'm not sure up in that. And it was getting too close for comfort then, isn't it? They come down to 1. Fireshot is down into 11th position. Then Emerson is back in the points then. He's having to battle his way back from the field after I'm not sure if it's a pit stop malfunction or whatnot, but he came out of the pits with 11 lap owed. 11 up owed medium tires, and thank you to Hungry Monkey who has subscribed to us. Fantastic stuff from Hungry Monkey, good stuff indeed there, and a lovely shot here from the diffuser. But this is, oh my goodness me, look at Stringy in the back, man. He is flying in that Ferrari and he's having a cracking old race. Granty is gonna might be feeling on the ropes of the boat. Look, there's Murphy, and look, 2 seconds back then we've got Lights, we've got Nigel, we've got Granty, we've got String as well. Jonathan's also going to be invited to this party as well, so Jonathan's now coming to the back. This is going to be fantastic stuff indeed then, as we're on board then, and DRS is available then for Lights, Nigel and Granty as well, coming into the keep calling it hairpin. And Brandon is got by Mumford and up into 8th position. Mumford dropping down to 9th, and he's got a lot of laps. Oh, Nigel is at 10th for a second. He's going to go on the outside of Young Lights. Oh my goodness me, that would have been a fantastic move there. And look at this, Granty also involved as well. Granty the championship leader. Can he get some more points in and get some more points out of the pocket? He's had a difficult day so far, but he's still in 5th position, isn't he? He's got a 3-second penalty. The championship leader has said. They come out, turn forward into 5 now then, as they come under the trees, and Fireshot is back into the points as well. Mumford's in the pits then, and Sandwich just slightly off the pace, and we've got 10 laps to go in this race. Stringy's had a fantastic race, isn't he, in 6th position? But the only concern I have for Stringy is the amount of penalties. Granty's on the outside. Granty's on the outside, and he had to take. He had to get out of power. Now Stringy's up the inside. Stringy's into 5th position. He's going to go into 4. He's going to have a lunge. Remember, Stringy not involved in the championship battle, so he hasn't got much to lose compared to the likes of Nigel and Granty. They come out of the hairpin as well, and look, Lights is now actually extended his advantage then, and look at this, and he's pulling out from the rear wing of Nigel, and Stringy's up in the 4th position. He's having an inspired drive at the moment, and now it's Granty is through and up in the 5th position, or back in the 5th I should say. Nigel in that exchange has dropped down to 6th position there. Jonathan is also involved. Right, he hasn't even got DRS, Jonathan has, but he is just flown it to the back then. Well, good stuff indeed. They're not 26 out of 35. Well, if you ever want a quiet Sunday, I wouldn't suggest watching ALR, because this has been absolutely incredible stuff. This is action. This is heart racing, isn't it? If that makes sense, which it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Fisher leads by 2.5 seconds from Murphy in second. Great drive from Dan today. Absolutely battling drive from Dan. I think we've seen him at his absolute best today. Fantastic stuff. Lights in third position there, taking advantages, and he's on the hard tires as well. Those hard tires shouldn't degrade them. They should go forever and a day, even though he has done 12 laps on them. We got String in 4th position. I think he's having an inspired drive. String, you say, probably one of the best of his season there, and but he does have a lot of penalties, doesn't he? Will that come back to bite him up in the diffuser? In 5th position is Granty. He's a championship leader, but he's in front, crucially in front of his 2 with close championship rivals of Nigel and Jonathan. And Emerson as well. Emerson is in 9th position at the moment. Emerson, he's catching on Brandon. And we're back on board, John, for the moment, and this is the closest battle on track, I think, or is it Granty? And Stringy is keeping tabs on Young Lights. That gap was actually up to like about a second and a bit, wasn't it? Jonathan's up the inside of Nigel, but Nigel's come back on the outside. Oh, Jonathan had to crack the steer. He had to steer over it there, didn't he? Jonathan did. And Nigel is still through at the moment, but Nigel there is taking his race line and then gone back through that, and they come out turn 4 then as well. Look at it, they got a lot of track limits on them. I think it's because of the tires, isn't it? Of course, it's very long into this race now, very late into the race. We've only got 8 laps from home, haven't we? Here in this race, and I got to to say, I'm sweating buckets here, sweating bullets in this incredible race set, as they're on the first DRS detection zone moment, and Jonathan having a look then, Nigel just about survived the, oh, he's in the wall there. That's going to definitely give Jonathan more than an invitation, and he is through a number 2 6th position there. Nigel dropping down 7th then, having a bit of a nightmare race. Nigel, oh, but Jonathan's got white then, and Nigel, that's going to allow Nigel back into the thick of things, isn't it? Stricky is now on course. There's a podium in front of you. Stricky, as you can see, he's got DRS available, and he's gaining. He might run out straight here, but he does have DRS there into turn 1 as well, and he comes out with his now. There's Grant, who's just half a second back as well. He's ready to strike there. Nigel and Jonathan are also in close company as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff as they come down to turn 1 then. I said fantastic stuff loads of times, and I've got to say, I feel like I'm being paid by the hour by keep saying that. Stricky there is now 2 tenths a second away from Lights. Lights is brilliant. He's on a great race once again, Lights, isn't he? He seems to do very well on the strategies, doesn't he? He really nails it, doesn't he? He comes from nowhere as well. Fantastic stuff there from Lights. But now Stringy needed to get past the Red Bull as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, he hasn't done that. Now Granty is now coming back. He's gonna, oh goodness me, and now I thought they were locking wheels then, and that's not what Granty wants, is it? He doesn't want to be involved in it. He doesn't want to be involved in any shenanigans, does he? Unfortunately, Emerson had a problem with the strategy, didn't he? That's why he's down in onto this road. The man who's on pole position, oh, contact! We've had contact. Stringy, oh, there's damage there. Stringy has gone to the back of Lights there, and he's damaged the car, and I think it's the Red Bull has still got all his wings intact there, but unfortunately the wings have been clipped there. Steve is in front of his teammate. Now Stringy's going to go on the outside then. We've had collisions here, haven't we? But Stringy is carrying on the moment because he has got the bit between his teeth, and there's a lot of damage on that Ferrari, isn't it? But is he going to be able to continue then? Look in the background, Jonathan and Nigel are starting to get once again more intrigued as well. Murphy just flashed through the screen in the yellow Renault. Fisher leads it, and he's going for his 8th race win in ALR, which will be joint first with joined first with Emerson as well on board Stringy. Look at the amount of understeer he's got in the Ferrari now, and you can see they're all within a second now of each other. Like Stringy, Granty, Jonathan and Nigel are all together then, and I think this battle going to be until the end of the race. Stringy is going to be really strong now. Look at this, he's already struggling. Granty wants to get free, he wants to strike whilst the iron's hot, doesn't he? He feels that Stringy's on the ropes at the moment then, and Stringy's got across the Lights there also going onto the grass on the curb there, and then causing the dull of his momentum then. Coming down there from once again, this is where Stringy's got wide then. Where is Granty? Where is Jonathan? Where is Nigel? Look at them, they're all Lionel Stern, and they come out of the hairpin once again, and 3.6 seconds between Murphy and Fisher then. Lights is now 4 seconds away then, as I think his attention's turned to this battle here then, and keeping for a position then. Stringy having a look then, just pulling from the slipstream. Stringy still has the pace, doesn't he, over Lights? Lights done 50 laps then. Stringy's all over the gearbox of the Red Bull. He's going left, he's going right, he's going on the outside. He is on the outside. Lights are breaking much later then, and I've got to say, oh, Granty's gone to the back there. Oh, and now Stringy's on the outside with Grant going on the inside there. Granty's still got all his front wing intact then. Lap 3 out of 35 and 6 more laps to go then, and they flicker through turn 4 and fantastic camera work here. And there's Nigel in the background as well. Emerson's now all over the back of Brandon in the battle for 8th and opposition. Stringy once again, he's strung out of turn 6, isn't he? And now Granty there is now all over the back of the Ferrari again. They've all got DRS, haven't they? As they're so close to each other, and Granty is going to have a look then, as Sam is now up into 13th position, and once again Stringy parking his car in an absolutely beautiful place there. Jonathan is now on the rear diffuser then of Granty as they come down the hairpin. Stringy's having a look then. Look how close they get. It's such a concertina. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got Brandon and Emerson also just keeping tabs on whatever happens in this battle as well. They could strike while iron's hot. Granty, look at this, and they're all slipstreaming each other. Granty's got down. Oh goodness me! And now they're coming down to the hairpin, and no, it's the chicane. So it's the chicane, and they fly through 14 now then, and they're all over the back of each other. Young Lights are doing a bit of weaving, I think there, but he is that is still just about within the realms. And Jonathan, I thought, is going into the side of Granty. Good car control indeed from these expert racers. That is the high caliber racers in this race, and what a way to finish the Canadian Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic. So indeed, on board with Stringy, who's right in the mix there, isn't he? 3-second penalty for Emerson as well. These penalties might start to haunt Emerson in the final stages of the race, and when the final classification comes out, lovely shot here from Stringy. And there is Granty in the background as well, and As the both McLarens are out the points, when we got both horses battling for the final point as well. What could have been there for both those guys. Emerson's now in position. You see him in the background. Oh, unfortunately, we cut away from it. And we're coming down to the airplane once again. Then as a stringy there, can he keep it tight then to the back of that Red Bull? Look at how close Bradley's sticking up the inside, isn't he? And now they come out again. Then and once again, Lights is going to be free in the pinch there, isn't he? It's only 5 tenths per second, but it's only a 10th per second there between Stringy and Grant. And then Stringy and Granty. Granty's on the inside, Stringy's on the outside, Granty's going on the inside, contact! The championship leader's been spun around! Oh goodness me! And that was getting very close. Granty's dropped down to 9th position. Oh my goodness me then. And Stringy is now in 4th position then. There's been contact, lap 32 then as Granty's got the pace to get back up to the back of these guys then. Oh my goodness me then. Of course we had a similar incident between Hulkenberg and Verstappen Vettel a couple of years ago, didn't we? Lights has got an 8th second row there from Stringy. Stringy's laps are now 14. Stringy's tires now 14 laps out as well. Jonathan is now only 5 tenths a second away as well, and so is Nigel. Only 7 tenths a second away as well. Emerson is 2.7 seconds behind as well. So we get my words out. Fisher's gap is now to 4 seconds. Stringy's gone off the track, but he's come back on. He hasn't lost too much momentum there. Away he goes, but he's lost 2 tenths of a second there. Jonathan is going to have a look there. Young Lights still in this first position. Oh, Stringy's gone wide, and Jonathan there is looking very keen, isn't he, to get back in front. And Mumford's got out the fast side of the race, but currently he doesn't get the point. And now Jonathan is going to go on the inside. Can Jonathan get back on the 4th position? Oh, he's had a difficult day, but he's back up in the 4th position. Fantastic stuff. Stringy dropped down to 5th position. He's in the pits, and Stringy's in the pits. And Nigel's up in the 4th position. Stringy coming in the pits. He's in no man's land there. Stringy is. I don't think he's going to get any major points now, but that has released these guys, hasn't it? And he is in that has released the guys, hasn't it? Granty is in 8th position there. Fireshot in 9th position, and Steve in 10th position. And Stringy then it's gone on the soft tires, and he might actually steal the fastest that point then from Mumford then. So Stringy at the moment is Mr. Elite is out of the race then, and that is in the final. That's in the final corner, I think it is. So there's no, I don't think there'll be any. There's no virtual safety car as far as I'm concerned. Then but yeah, he's gone to the World Challenge, Mr. Elite, as Mr. Elite was having such a great race to begin with, wasn't he? Murphy there is took a 10th and a bit there out of Fisher at the moment. Then Murphy in 2nd position. Young Lights is now in 3rd position, and Young Lights seems to, all his competition seems to have disappeared. Well, not gone too far away. Stringy's in the pits then, and we have also, Granty has spun it, hasn't he? After him and Stringy there came to blows there, didn't he? Jonathan is only at 1 point. That's 3 seconds away, but he's not in the DR zone. Nigel's in the DR zone as well. There's Emerson in the background as well then, and in the Mercedes side, they come through the chicane. Brandon's back through. He's passed Emerson. It's Emerson. Emerson's keeping hold of him. He's keeping onto the rear wing of Brandon now. Emerson hasn't got DRS, but he's alongside. Farshott's got a 3-second penalty. He's going to go to the inside, is he? Brandon staying on the outside. Good move there from Emerson. He's back up in the 6th position. Brandon had a great move as well in the final chicane there. That 35. Farshott is all over the back of Granty. Granty's trying to get, I think it's the tyre temperature, isn't it? After that spin, then the tyres are probably screaming at the moment, aren't they? And Granty there's just trying to get the tyres into relative temperature, isn't it? Now Young Lights then is currently still in 3rd position, but he's having an inspired race. Young Lights is fantastic stuff. I think the man who actually started, I think he got knocked out qualifying too, didn't he? It feels such a long time ago. The qualifying was Murphy has really got the bit between himself and Fisher, hasn't he? As Dan making a return now, making a return here tonight, has had an absolutely spectacular drive in 2nd position. As this one of his best drives in ALR, and that is a huge statement to make then, but it's been absolutely incredible stuff from Murphy tonight. It really has. And lap 35 out of 35. Jonathan, I think, might be running out of laps here to do anything about it. Look at the background there. And that was Emerson, that was Brandon. We've also got Granty and Fireshot battling away as well. Fireshot has had a very difficult race today. Granty was having an alright race, wasn't he? Until all of a sudden it came apart a couple of laps ago. And at the moment, Fireshot is just staying where he is. And Stringy is now only 8 seconds away from a point. And Granty's got another 3-second penalty. He could be in danger of being knocked out at the points there. Stringy set the fast out of the race then as well. We're on board with the man who's leading the race as well. But what was that? That was Emerson, and no, it wasn't. It was a Mercedes of Mumford there. I thought it was the other Mercedes then, as getting by Nigel there, and Jonathan there is half a second behind. Then here comes Fisher. Then he has got 7 race wins. He's got 7 race wins. We got a Haas. We got a Haas off, and that's Steve is off the track. He is in the points for the Haas team. What a shame there what a shame for Steve. Steve was so close to getting some points for a very hard fought drive. Fisher wins his 8th race in ALR, wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Dan in 2nd position in the end. Great drive from Dan now. I'd say his best of his career. Here comes Young Lights. Jonathan's in 3rd position. No, Nigel's in 3rd position. Jonathan 4th. Emerson 5th. Lights in 6th. Brandon 7th position. Fireshot is coming through in 8th position. 9th position is Granty. 10th position will be Stringy as well, as he had a bit of the leader there, didn't he, behind him, as Stringy in 10th position. And Sam will be in 11th position. Steve retired but will be classified 12th, and Mumford in 13th position in the end. Then my foot's gone to sleep. And I think my voice is also cracked as well. Here comes Sam then, come through, as he was involved in some epic battles today as well. But what a drive from Fisher there, as this is his 8th race win of ALR. A fantastic drive from Fisher today, but he didn't have it all his own way, did he? And I got to say, because we're going to talk to Fisher in just a few moments' time, and I'm trying to remember what happened to him in the race. My goodness me. Absolutely incredible stuff, wasn't it, today? And there he is on the podium there. His 8th race win of ALR. And he is the joint highest with 8 race wins then in ALR with Emerson. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic performance from Fisher today. And potentially he might move up. He will get in front of Jonathan there. And he'll be up into 4th in the Drivers' Championship. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And Jonathan just commented, I enjoyed that as well. As let's take a look at the final classification then for the Canadian Grand Prix. Hats off to Nigel there for no penalties at all. Brilliant stuff indeed. Hats off to Young Lights from 13th to 6th as well. Fireshot from 15th to 8th. There's some good driving up and down the field. But Fisher there winning the race then. Brilliant stuff there. Murphy 2nd today. Absolutely fantastic. 3rd position was Nigel in the end. That is the rostrum. 4th position is Jonathan. Emerson in 5th. 6th is Light. 7th is Brandon. 8th is Fireshot. Granty in 9th position. Striggy in 10th. Sam 11th. And Steve 12th. Mumford 13th. Retirements: Mr. Elite, Roscoe, Twan, Matt, Farf and Echo. All retired from this Canadian Grand Prix then. Well, I got to say, that was an absolutely incredible race. It really was. Fisher has joined me in the commentary box now, and Fisher, 8-time race winner in ALR, and I got to say, that was a fantastic race from you today.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that. It was a fun one. Had some pretty crucial moves I had to make on people at certain times, but no, it was a really fun one. I enjoyed it, and yeah, good race overall.
It really was. And what was the crucial moves then? Now, pinpoint the most crucial one that got you the race win today.
The most crucial one that got me the race win, probably pitting the lap earlier than I was meant to make sure I stayed out ahead of Dan. Was probably the most crucial thing, because me and Dan seemed pretty evenly matched from what I could tell, so getting that done was pretty crucial.
It really was. Did you know about Dan's pace then? Because he did come in the pits a couple of laps earlier than the rest of them. Was you concerned by Dan originally, or was that a bit of a surprise to see that Renault coming up beside you?
No, I was looking at the mini-map and I saw after he pitted that he was kind of getting to the point of the track where I was hoping to rejoin, so I decided to come in a lap early and hope that I'd got my maths somewhat right on the gap with him, and so it was pretty close, but yeah.
Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. 8th race win as well, and I would say that, quick maths here guys, so it might be wrong, I think you've moved up to 4th in the championship table now as well. Another race win this season. I got to say, you're starting to rack up the number of race wins. Can you get that consistency in and really start to put the squeeze on Emerson in Granty?
I'll try. They're quite far out ahead. I've just looked at the tables from last week. They're quite far ahead, but I know neither of them have particularly stellar races today. So at least that's an unhappy bonus for them, but a bonus for me to take. So we'll see. At the minute, I'm just kind of trying to get some consistency, and it's always nice to obviously race with Emerson, Down, and people like that because they're always hard to beat.
Indeed, they are. Absolutely fantastic race today. And as I said, your 8th race win as well. So joint the highest race winner in ALR history. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Let's come to Dan Murphy today, who really who came in as a last-minute reserve, and I got to say that's probably your best race in ALR from you today. Absolutely brilliant performance today. And as Fisher said, that early pit stop might have been crucial for launching you up the results today.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I really enjoyed it. Like Fisher said, I reckon me and him were pretty evenly paced. I think what kind of won it for him was he got past Young Lights a lot quicker than I did, and then he was off.
Yeah, indeed, because you were behind for a couple more laps, weren't you? If you got by Young Lights earlier, because I was noticed the time was coming down towards the end there. Do you think that June Fisher would have had a bit of a combat towards the end then?
I think it would have been 15 laps of pure battling.
Oh, I feel.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'm a bit gutted by that now. No offence to Young Lights, he had a stellar drive today, but well done as well. And I did say that was your best result in ALR. Would you agree with that in terms of your race pace today? Because you were phenomenal today.
I mean, earlier in the season in ALR, I got unlucky with incidents, and then I kind of just gave up on it. But today I had a clean race. There was no incidents around me or into me, so I had a clean race, happy race, a pacey race.
Oh my goodness me, it definitely was a pacey race. Fantastic stuff, and well deserved on your podium today. Brilliant stuff indeed. And let's come to I think it was Nigel that snuck into third in the end there. And I gotta say, no, I say this quite a lot, to be honest. No penalties again there from yourself, which elevated you back up in the third today. I gotta say, you're very clean on that track. Very good stuff indeed then. I've got to say, whilst Dan in Fisher's enjoying a Sunday cruise, thereabouts, a very fast Sunday cruise, you was in some incredible battles between yourself and Jonathan. We also had Young Lights in there as well. There was some fraught action there, wasn't there? Getting very juicy. I was going to say, very good for you. Emerson and Grant had very difficult days today. Both of them did get in the points in the end then, but I think you want some more difficult days from both those guys to reel them in at the moment. Never know indeed. That is the beauty about live sport, it really is. Absolutely fantastic today, fantastic race tonight, guys. Brilliant stuff. We're back tomorrow for silver action then at 7:30 UK time as we're back in the lovely picturesque Gilles Villeneuve circuit next to the St Lawrence Seaway. Looking forward to that as can anyone stop Glock at the moment with 7 Grand Slams to his name. The man has not been beaten in qualifying. That is an unprecedented record, isn't it? It really is on Formula 1 2019. But I'm sure that the challengers are lining up and ready to get eager to displace him, to knock him off his perch. We'll be back for more action from ALR tomorrow.